cry of your heart this evening? I gotta be where you are. Yeah, I wanna be where you are. Gotta be where you are. I wanna be where, I wanna be where you are. Lord, gotta be where you are. I wanna be where you are. God, I gotta be where you are. God, I wanna be where you are. I gotta be where you are. Wanna be where you are. Gotta be where you are. For your glory, I would do anything just to see you, to behold you as our King. For your glory, I will do anything just to see you, to behold you as my King. For your glory, I would do anything just to see you, to behold you as our King. And for your glory, I would do anything just to see you, to behold you as our King. I wanna be where you are. I gotta be where you are. Wanna be where you are, God. Gotta be where you are. God, keep me where you are. Joy is where you are. Hope is where you are. Joy is where you are. So God, I wanna be where you are. Gotta be where you are. Wanna be where you are. Gotta be where you are.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM every Friday from 9:15 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. with Kingdom Health Services, situated at number 125 Eastern Main Road in Tunapuna. For the program, Health and Healing, merging the old with the new, with Mr. Brent Diet. For more information, call 318-7471 or 484-0141 or 360-4100. It's all about Kingdom Health Services on the Street 919 FM.
In Trinidad and Tobago, there are so many things to talk about. Social issues, injustice, child abuse, domestic violence, political scandals, and much more. On HOTP, we will cover all that and much more. Don't forget, you can catch us every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday nights from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Facebook and Instagram. Hot off the press. Hot topics, no filter.
Together we aspired, and together we have achieved.
We have achieved 6 decades of independence.
We must continue to embrace our watchwords:
Discipline,
production, and tolerance.
Our national flag belongs to all of us.
So let us move together, hand in hand,
to create a better
and safe
Trinidad and Tobago.
Happy 60th Independence to Trinidad and Tobago from the street. 919 FM family.
Happy Independence, TNT.
This is Bishop Aaron Williams from the Divine Problem Solving International Ministries, inviting you to be part of our broadcast on any given Thursday night from 12 midnight right on to 5 a.m. on Friday morning. And this broadcast is called Early Morning Gospel Market Program. Then we have on Tuesday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. the Holy Ghost Gospel Pharmacy. If you are sick and ailing, you can get from this particular pharmacy, from the pharmacist, the good things of life. Hallelujah. And any Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, break into the host of the Philistines. Hallelujah. If you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, hearing the babel of false doctrines that you encounter daily, it's about time you get close to God, God's word, direct from his throne room, in the name of Jesus.
God has good plans for his people. Why do you worry so much?
Good about I'm looking like a real bad.
Are you ready for that boat experience again? The Sea Champion and the Embassy say, book with us for that unforgettable boat ride experience. Sea Champion leaving from King's Wharf, San Fernando, and the Embassy leaving from Breakfast Shed, Port of Spain, or Westside Trinidad. For more information, call 399-5959, 281-4723, or email us at coralvisiontT@gmail.com. Book now and reserve your cruise.
Hey, that boat, I look like it's as well.
So we out and bad and the people better we cause it trouble.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM for Gospel in the Bone Ministry every Sunday from 7:05 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. for the program God's Last Warning Message. Hosea chapter 4 says, "Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood toucheth blood." Remember, every Sunday from 7:05 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. for the program God's Last Warning Message with Gospel in the Bones Ministry, right here on the Street 919 FM.
The journey's almost
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Yo, this is your boy Ziggy Rankin, and right now you're listening to the Titans of Democracy. You don't know. Real talk.
Well, a pleasant good morning to each and everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Titans of Democracy right here on the street 919 FM. Let me thank the Heavenly Father for bringing me here safe, sound, and all together in one piece. Pleasant good morning going out to my entire family. Good morning to the lovely Miss Sharon Felix, Mr. Dominic Romain, and their entire families. Good morning to you, all our callers, all our listeners, to all of our viewers online. For those of you that are always locked on with us, it's always a pleasure to have you guys right here on the inside with us, yes. So let me also say good morning going out to my friends and family in Tobago. Tobago, good morning. Hope you guys are doing good. Pleasant good morning going out to Auntie Patsy and Melissa. Hope you two ladies are doing fine this morning. Let me also say good morning to the management and staff of the street 919 FM. Good morning to Mr. Iowa George and his entire family. So as you know, we open up the lines for you to give your morning greetings. My numbers are 342-0081 and 466-5391. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Bruce Wayne.
Hi, good morning, and how are you this morning?
Blessed day, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Well, hear this. I have a complaint to make.
Oh, Lord.
Since we haven't get no water for the whole entire week, I find one of them doing real stupidness. And the Indian man who do thing in the water, sabotaging the whole of Lavantera, especially Village Council Street. And I find that real stupidness. We ain't get no water for some past weeks right now. That real madness, Bruce Wayne. What is going on with WASFA? What is going on with them? Why is they doing that? Why is they sabotaging we black people? I don't understand that. I tired of this. I tired of that. You can't do nothing without water. People have to wash, people have to cook, people have to take a good bath. That is not right. They're sabotaging we black people in Village Council Street. Oh, gosh, man.
All right.
Why is they doing people that, boy?
I know we have a few friends in Wassa that listen to the program, so I am sure they hear your cries and something will be done about it, my dear. So
because they try calling them, they're not picking up the phone. That real madness.
Okay, my friend. Caller, good morning.
Uncle Brucey, morning. How you doing this morning, man?
I did cool. Good morning.
Right, good. Yesterday I didn't hear anything because Facebook I on and nothing didn't come up and I didn't see no YouTube neither. But you know, God is good. Right here on the video this morning until whatever when they teach you away. So Auntie Sharo, Uncle Dominic, the principal, Professor Chance. You and your family, bless. For the day, Prime Minister, love you. Continue to do what you're doing. You know, young men, you all still killing each other. Young men. Life is worth living. There is a song that even says that. Life is worth living. God brought us here into this world to live and serve Him, not to be killing and fighting and into all illegal things. Young men of Trinidad and Tobago, hear the elderly cry. You all preserve your life to be men of the future and men of God. Come on over the weekend, go on sick, die or whatever. Oh my. All right, that is enough. Trinidad and Tobago, love you all the Titans, all my nice ladies who shouting out, Mr. Mountain George. Love you all, I love you all. Blessings for the day. Uncle Brucey, I'll get in when you all start the music. I'll get in the dance.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, good.
Caller, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Bruce Wayne.
Morning, my dear. Morning. How you doing?
How are you today?
I am very good. How are you?
Okay, I met you yesterday.
Yes.
I know. You had something to do important. Okay.
I was right here.
You was here?
Yeah.
Oh, but your thing was getting trouble.
Yeah, I was right here.
All right, then. Well, I want to shout out today's mom, Aisha birthday is today. I want to tell her happy birthday today. And God bless her with long life. Yeah?
Yes, my dear.
And I want to shout out to the detector. Sharon, Momso, Shakshak Lady, Mr. Napuna, Mano, and the rest of you all, good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, to have a blessed day today. And tomorrow is my birthday. But I hope I will get in tomorrow. But if I ain't get you, that is nothing. I know you will shout me out. You and Sharon here, and the Prime Minister, Patrick Manning, this is his own is tomorrow too. Okay? So God bless us and keep us and have a nice day. Yes. Prime Minister, you stay safe. Good morning to you and your family. Okay? Bye-bye.
Bye.
And have a blessed day, everybody, Trinidad and Tobago. Okay? Bye-bye. Yes.
So let me take this time out to say good morning to Mr. Dominic Romain. Good morning to you, sir. How are you this morning? And I hear you. Come on, I hear you. I understand now. I don't understand. Listen, let me see if it's on my end. I'll make sure everything straight here. Right, talk to me now.
It was on your side?
Nice, it's on my side.
Yeah, because I was hearing you loud and clear. So
I don't know who does interfere with the thingy. Ah boy, what you gonna do?
Hey.
Yes. I'll make sure everything else properly well up and running, eh? Right. Yeah. Yes. So continuing to take a few calls, and then we're going to get into the papers in a very short while. Caller, good morning.
Morning, Bruce.
Hey, Mano, how you doing?
Well, fit as a fiddle, spiritually guided, and, blessed. Morning, Dominic.
Morning,
Zina,
Mano.
time to get up. Zina. Morning, Zina. Miss Tunapuna. Hey, past the street. 75. Gilpin and Miss Jean, good morning. Hey, Suman Oga. Malcolm and Joe and Mr. Toronto, if they see in action, the price are bad. Hey, Jenny and Carol, good morning to you. Jackie and Jackie, good morning. Somebody is missing there. Okay. That's Mr. Hey, the brain getting kind of old, boy.
Yeah.
I can forget who I called already.
Yeah.
Okay, brother, still in. Mr. Bataria, good morning to you guys. The people of Bonnet Gardens and Mount Hope, good morning. Remember, love is the answer. Do something for somebody and don't think about it. Just do it with the love of your heart. Dr. Rowley, mash your X, full board, swing corner, because the rest of them drunk, they can't hold on properly. Swing corner fall long, all who Douglas and all who doing Douglas. Make sure them fall long when you're throwing them down. Anyway, love is the answer. Bruce, Dominic, William, Sharon, good morning to you. I'll talk to you guys later. Listen.
Yeah, man. Caller, good morning.
Morning, Bruce.
Hi, morning.
Morning, Dominic. Good morning to...
Morning, Gemma.
Davidi Omira, where I live. Good morning to Miss Patsy Street, my cousin-in-law. Good morning to Miss Tanapuna. A special good morning to my Prime Minister and his family, Prime Minister Holy Ford. I know it's tough, but God is in control. You put God first, and He will be right behind. I mean, He take care of everything what is taking place in this country. I know what is going on. God knows what is going on, and God knows and sees all things, even our most secret thoughts. So when we do the wrong things, God will handle it in due course. Hold forth, Prime Minister. You know the odds is against you, but God is going to take control. Leave everything up to Him, and He will handle everything what is taking place in this country. But look, I don't know what to say, but God, you take charge of Trinidad and Tobago. Take control. A very special good morning to Mr. Mong St. George. God bless you, my brother.
Have a blessed day. Take care. God is in control. He will handle everything that's going wrong in his country. God, take charge. I'm begging you, please, take charge.
Thank you. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Bruce.
Hi, morning.
This is Miss Pleasantville here.
Good morning. How are you
I
doing?
just called, good morning. I just called to say good morning to the whole of Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Dominic, morning. Sharon,
Morning.
And Mr. Monk St. George, Mr. Chance, Miss Jenny, Mr. Napuna, Miss Barataria, everybody. Everybody who listens to this radio station, good morning and have a blessed day. Dr. Rowley, you hold on. And the President of Trinidad and Tobago, Miss Paula Merrick, you go, girl. I love to see you. Thanks, bye-bye.
Caller, good morning.
Bless love to you, Mr. Bruce Wayne.
Morning.
And your family this morning, and Mr. Dominic. Yes, glad to hear you again this morning in Jesus' name. Yesterday was a separate day for me. Yes, blessed love to Miss Sharon Felix also and her family. Blessed love to the Titans family. Blessed love to Manu, Ivan G, Mommy Sauce, Chocolate Lady. Blessed love to Gemma, my in-law. Blessed love to all the rest of the Titans, Prizer Bad, and all others. Mr. Chant, Professor, blessed love to my dear. Blessed love to Deep South. Blessed love to all of my surroundings like Tarshish, Nova, Beacon, Chumaka, Paradise High. Blessed love to you all. Keep that fire burning, as Mr. Tobago say. Too much bloodshed, each and every one. Stop holding grudge in all your mind for each other and killing out each other. Leave that grudge and think to the Lord Jesus. Let him take, nobody gives no life. That's how I lost mine. All you, stop it. In Jesus' name, as I say, too much blood in this country. It is looking real bad. We're not in no other country, not the same people have to be sticking up the bundle and keep running and on their destiny. Stop it in Jesus' name. Blessed love to each and every one. That is all we have to do. Forgiveness and share that love. Right? So love again in Jesus' name. Who I leave out, love to each and every one. Mano, I love you always. Boy, I like how you drop it. My Prime Minister must hold on to that balance in and don't let go. Just last night I just hear a little glimpse of she speech. Oh, they are the best lawyers. But I know, without God, they're going to have voice and strength to say what they have to say. Because God is the boss. And what God says, He put up and He take down. Right? Everything in Jesus' name. Thank you, Mr. Bruce, Mr. Dominic, all them people on pressing. Right? And they're listening. Right? Mm-hmm. Love stays all the time. Of course.
So, guys, I think we can probably get into the papers at this point. Let me see. I'll take one more call here. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Bruce.
Hi, morning.
And good morning, Dominic. I'm calling from the area of Kandahar. For the past week, within 2 weeks, we get no water. They say the pressure is low. All on the flat is getting water, but the hill ain't getting. All on here on Lauren Hill getting water. Manimore Road, and them on hill, more higher hill than we. I don't know what is the problem. I really don't know. It happened already. We had over 13 days we didn't get water in last month. It started back again this month. I've been coming to a little children. Sunday we could have had cook a little food. Went to pay me bill. We ain't know water. But at least, God give us some water. I hear the lady cry this morning. Water is life, and if they could keep up with the water. They have to get water every day, you know. As I told them, the tank empty. At least they could send a trip and give us at least one tank until water comes. That is my air this morning. I'm thanks for taking my call.
No problem, my dear.
Have a blessed day.
You too, take care. Okay, guys, so we're going to get into the papers or headlines for today, Tuesday, the 16th of August 2022. So, headlines in the Express. Scrap iron shake-up. Government imposes 6-month ban on exports. Violators face $15,000 fine. Ferguson threatens legal action. 13 bloody murders recorded. So let's see what's going on. Let's see if I can just let me reboot this to make sure I have the right stories at hand. Right, nice. So on the inside, President on vacation returns August 26. President Paula May Weeks is currently on vacation. 13 bloody murders recorded. Summary: 2 men were shot and killed in separate incidents on Sunday night and yesterday morning, with one murder in Laventille and another in Pity Valley, Diego Martin. Scrap iron shake-up. The government has imposed a 6-month ban on export of scrap and old metal, with Attorney General Reginald Amos stating yesterday that stating that the increasing theft of these materials was crippling the economy. The ban was approved by the cabinet last Thursday and went into effect on Friday, August 12, 2022. Amos announced at a news conference at the offices of the Ministry of National Security in Port of Spain. 6-month ban on scrap iron export. Susan Mills dies at home. Former newspaper editor Susan Mills was found dead at her Diamond Vale, Diego Martin home on Sunday night. 5 women rescued, 2 men charged with human traffic, sex crimes. 2 men are expected to appear before Port of Spain magistrate today, charged with human trafficking and sexual offenses following the rescue of 5 Latin American women. 2 cops charged with misbehavior. A police constable was granted bail with surety in the sum of $500,000 by a justice of the peace, while a woman police constable is expected to appear before Port of Spain magistrate. Wrapped in plastic, body found in Brasso. Driver 65 dies in highway crash. Coke in his backpack. Brave neighbor chases armed bandits, captures 1. Where are you going with that car? Delivery driver shot dead. COVID warning for TNT. And these are the stories making way in the Express. Over to the Newsday. Lights out for Bonaccord resident after attempted eviction. Acting Commissioner of Police cancels leave for cops in 5 high crime areas. Mother of murdered man, I was expecting it years ago. Kojo, all voices in cabinet have helped Tobago. Colleagues remember Susan Mills as beautiful, brilliant and gifted. 6-month ban on exports, no scrap iron selling. Oil cleanup keeps Caroni Bird Sanctuary alive. Man gunned down in South Orapooch trying to get back car. 4 months, no water for Melajo residents. I hope I pronounced that correct. 175 new COVID-19 cases, no deaths. Education Ministry. SCA exam next March. Sentencing for 4 Trinidadians charged in Grenada set for Wednesday. Small crowd, big fun as Arima celebrates 136. New Grant man fined $1,500 for dumping coconut shells on roadside. Manning seeks help for San Fernando landslip fire victims. Man killed in Freeport accident on way to work. Laventil man called outside, then killed. National Transformation Alliance announces Deputy Leader Lauren Pouchet. President on vacation. Unknown man's body found in Brasso. And these are the stories making way in the news day at this time. So we head over to the Guardian. Headlines in the Guardian. Battle for scraps. Government bans scrap iron exports until 2023. Kamala tells cops, charge Lee and Cardeal if they must. UNC have plenty good lawyers. There was nothing illegal in United National Congress Deputy Leader David Lee's transaction with a car, but if he is to be charged, the TNT Police Service should go ahead and do so, since the party has many good lawyers, says UNC leader Kamla Prasad Bisesa, vouching for the issue. JetBlue suspends Fort Lauderdale Port of Spain flights. Man murdered after collecting his rented car. Dealers vow to challenge ban all the way to Privy Council. Trinis to be sentenced Wednesday for assault of Grenadian sports star. Jacob, no rise in brazen killings but high-powered guns to blame for criminality. Landlord wins land fight against deceased tenants' children. WPC challenges TTPS refusal to allow her to sit promotional exam. Laventil man killed after being called outside his house. 9 held for illegal guns and ammo. Plate of food politics. Devon slams Family Day support by some. Lala, UNC must move on for good for TNT. Alarming COVID spike develops in Tobago. TTPS mounted branch stableman killed in crash. Criminologists, murder rate out of control. Journal, okay, right. Businessman shot in head at nightclub, remains in ICU. What the hell? And these are the stories that are making way in the Guardian, the Express, and the Newsday at this time. So, I hand you over to Mr. Dominic Romain.
Yes, sir. That story with JetBlue there. Anyway, we get to it just now. Not that it really concerns me. Well, it concerns me just a little, but I don't really, not that I use JetBlue when I go to Fort Lauderdale, because I know JetBlue still win me some monies from December.
Oh, that was the airline.
Oh, that was the airline I booked with when I went in December when I was going to New York. And then they canceled. Yeah, they canceled that flight 10 o'clock the night, and the flight was supposed to be 8 o'clock the following morning. And up till now, I haven't gotten back my money from them. So, because I had to last minute book other flights, and I went on Delta. So, yeah, still trying all these months to get back my money.
Well, they feel your way back.
No, I not playing that to the Bruce.
Yeah, they like to, not sure, big companies like to drag you, you know. Yeah, they like to drag you.
Oh, Lord. Right, so good morning to all of the loyal listeners of the Street 919 FM. Morning to Mr. and Mrs. Sapi, Mr. and Mrs. Regis. Morning, Angie. Bruce, have you heard from Angie recently? I still have not heard from her.
I try making her back and I didn't hear from her. The next thing is I will reach up where she live in and knock the door.
Every now and then you just go and hide when you shut. But then Angie, I hope all is well. Mano, Mother Tunapuna, good morning. Morning to Patsy Edwards, to Nicole Caesar, Davia Andrews, morning. Alison Samuel, Alison Haynes, and all of the Allisons as well, Miss Arlene Lewis. Good morning to you, to all of the folks taking us on Facebook and YouTube. Good morning. I say over the weekend, Bruce. Well, Sunday, we had that issue with the we weren't on air because of the transmission thing where they stole the cables and whatnot.
Yeah,
so we were only on Facebook and YouTube. So I was forced to read the comments, which I try to avoid doing when I do my show, because you see, when the trolls come on and I read some of these comments, this distract me from what I need to talk about and how to engage them. But Sunday I was able to, I was afforded the opportunity to do so. And there was one by the name of, I think, Sammy John, and I can't remember the other guy's name, Roger something and some Jason D'Souza. I don't know if it is all of these people auditioning for the political leader. I don't know if maybe we mad, Bruce, but what seems to be common sense for us, I don't understand the nonsense that these people defend sometimes is beyond me, I mean, it's plain, simple, and to hit. I think this Jason D'Souza talking about we voted for Auntie until we dead. Well, I say, well, I might very well do that. Until Ole dead or until she dead. One out of the two. But, it seems one might happen before the other. Anyway, moving right along. Yeah. There was another story that you touched on there that, anyway, that shooting that they had by, what's the name of the residents at One Woodbrook Place? The businessman who we read was he's in ICU or something.
Yeah, I wanted to find out where that was,
That was the residence by One Woodbrook Place.
Serious?
It's some club or something.
Yeah, I know the club.
Yeah, apparently some guy or some men opened fire, and I think they shot 3 people. One guy died. 33-year-old businessman. He was shot in the head and he died. This other guy, I think he too was shot in the head. He is in hospital, and one guy was shot in the stomach. Yeah, so I think I saw in Sunday's newspaper, the mother of the one who died was reaching out to the Prime Minister and begging him to do something with respect to the state of crime in the country. Yeah. Yeah. So, anyhow. Yeah, so, the state of murders in the country, Bruce, is quite concerning. I think we're almost to 400. We still have 4.5 months to go. So it appears that we may be setting a new record this year, because these guys seem to have no restraint. As when they come to kill, they're not aiming specifically at who they come to kill. It's just open fire, and whoever pick up, well, hard luck. Right? And I think yesterday I heard Google interviewing where's that in?
Dominic, that I reading part of that looking like that was a hit,
But it reads like a hit. It reads like a hit.
The person came in, they opened, 3 of them, the 3 people were sitting down together, and they opened fire on all 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is this?
Yeah.
Lord Father.
I don't know who the intended target was, but Yeah. So, as I said, no restraint, but the commissioner was asked the question, and well, Google asked him the question, and the question was also posed to him on I-95 yesterday. About where the guns are coming from, and he was saying that while the narrative was that the guns were coming from the Venezuelan mainland, that the TTPS has a relationship with the ATF, which is in the United States, and he was saying that they've seized a number of the guns that the police have seized, that when they interact with the ATF and tracing the serial numbers and so on, a lot of these guns are originating from the United States. And and he was saying he listed a few of the places in the U.S. where it's coming from: Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Georgia, and so on. But he was saying that these guns are coming through the legal ports of entry, ports of Port of Spain, ports of Point Lisas, and so on. And and again, this is the problem with this country, right, Bruce? We blame the government first and foremost, because apparently the government is supposed to be, or is responsible for everything in this country. Citizens not responsible for anything. So I think he mentioned the scanner was down. Scanner was down in one of the ports or something like that. But that's not the only reason. I mean, even if the scanner is down, Bruce, there are manual facilities available for checking these containers, right? But be that as it may, the challenges that the state faces, so many things the government has to pay money for, money which by and large it does not have. And when it comes to the issue of the port, when the government made mention of the fact that they wanted to enter into a public-private partnership in order for the management of the port, where the country would still own the port, the government would still own the port, but they would just have a private entity run the port for profit, similar to the model that is used for Hyatt, where the government owns the hotel, but they have a management contract with Hyatt. So Hyatt manages it. You have the Hyatt brand, which would attract foreigners because the Hyatt brand, in and of itself, has its benefits, right? So a portion of the profits would go to the Hyatt International for their management fees or whatever, and then the state benefits from the rest. So the same thing. But the minute they hear that, they want to sell the port and this government only selling everything and they want to sell this and sell that. Well, if it is that the port was managed by a private entity through a public-private partnership, right, the government wouldn't have had to find the money to fix the scanner, because the private entity would be responsible for all of those things, for maintenance and everything. So that would be out of the hands of the state. They would manage the port, run the port, and make profits for the government, and by extension, you, the tax-paying citizens. Because everything in this country is we paying tax and we paying tax. But some of these blockheaded, I will stop there, don't want to understand that. No, they don't want to understand that. All they only want to sell out and sell out. I wouldn't take the time to research and understand and see how this thing has worked in other jurisdictions and worked well to the benefit of the citizens, right? No, leave it so. Because they taking chain up from Anisette and these other guys. The same Anisette who, just a few years ago, and maybe when we go on the break, I'll try and pull up that article, where the WTU was advocating for retrenchment. They were saying that they were willing to accept a visa offer from the state and send home some of the workers, right? But then the likes of this government only sending home people and people only losing their jobs, and that's what's unfortunate about this country. Some people are just so locked on, so tuned into bacchanal and propaganda that they don't understand common sense. They don't understand basic business practice. Some of them still living back in 1800s and 1900s with their thinking. And that is why other countries are going forward and are doing well, and we're stuck in the mire that we are. Yeah? Because we have citizens who choose propaganda and bacchanal, chop talk, over common sense. And then want to talk about Trinidad is not a real place. So yeah, the government had to find the money, right? The port being what it is.
And that is for which one? That is the port way in Port of Spain or South?
I'm not too sure which one it was.
Because I remember talking about the trucks that come from down on my end.
Yeah.
And when I asked why it is that these trucks that they come in Shagaramas, they collect these goods off these ships, and then they head south with it. What's the reason that it can't go to south? And somebody mentioned to me that the scanner in south is not working.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So with everything that you just said there now, Dominic, let me be real and let us be honest. Most of us that work within the government, not all of us, most of us, we just, okay, I have a government job and that is it. You're done there.
Right.
You know you're entitled to this, you're entitled to that, you have holidays coming, you have time off, so you just in the job.
Yeah.
You just in the job, you know? And let us be real, I mean, I wouldn't paint a broad brush and say everybody, because it's not everybody. But there are some of us within that government space that work, and some of us don't work. Let me be real.
Yeah.
Let me be real. If it is you in charge of this particular machine or whatever the case might be, and this machine supposed to be up and running, this is our important machine. Okay. Something happened to the machine. I would like to think that a report should be done as to what would have caused the issue with the machine.
Yeah.
So then going forward, we know, okay, we cannot do this, we cannot do that where the machine is concerned because we don't want it to go down again. Right? And according to the government had to find the money to fix that now.
Yeah.
What is to prevent it from going down again?
And that's the thing.
Was it
and what needs to be done? Yeah, and what needs to be done, Bruce, is that more and more of these state agencies, these state enterprises need to operate and run like businesses to be self-sufficient, right? Because the port making money when containers come in and all of that. And therefore, the port ought to be in a position where their coffers should be able to... I mean, it's not like you're buying a brand new scanner. How much money maintaining the damn thing could cost, even if it's down? I mean, to buy a part or whatever it is. It's not as much as buying a brand new scanner. So even if the government funds the purchase of the scanner, you tell me the port not making enough money that they could ensure proper maintenance? And so, okay, so when it's done well, whoever is whoever, there's no responsibility? Come on. Really?
But Dominic, I can tell you what is the cause of all of that, honestly. And again, more people might get vexed with me this morning. But you see, from the time that there are no consequences for your actions, you do what you want. It come like a child. You're raising a child. You give them something to eat, they get vexed, they don't want it, they stamp up, they take it, they pelt the bowl, they pelt the bottle, and you do nothing as a parent. What you expect going to happen every time them do or something?
Right.
You ain't discipline them in no way, form, or fashion. So, hey, every time I do this, I gain what I want. So, from the time they give them something that they don't want, hey, they're going to sky it. You're a duck.
But not only that, Bruce, one cannot discount the possibility of sabotage. Because, one, when the scanner down and we had to do things manually, that's over time. And you always hear about these what is called them? These customs officers. I've heard stories saying men living on overtime alone, they had to touch their salary,
No.
So
no, you see, again, that comes back to the ones who doing the job and the ones who not. Because look, I have a family member of mine that is a customs officer, and she don't make joke with she walk. Donna morning, darling. She don't make joke with she walk. But it have those who just, man, yeah, what's going on? This month and I feel like I do it extra something in the coffers, yes? Do so. Yes. When that reach, when it's supposed to go tomorrow night, it'll go next week.
Yeah.
Let me take time and deal with that.
Correct. Yeah. And then if the scanner down, as I said, for the guns to be coming into the legal port, I mean, it is not far-fetched to think that maybe you have people on the take. Hey, this container in there and it has XYZ in it, and I need that to pass through. What you could do for me? Right? I don't know. What is to say, all right, you open the barrel? Yeah. Hey, checking this barrel here. All right, you open it? Yeah. All right, the thing there. Yeah, it's good to go. Send that through. All right? And money pass. And then what? You ain't thinking, consequences of your actions by allowing this contraband to come into the country, whose hands it ends up in. And you might very well end up being the victim of one of the things that you're allowed to pass. Exactly. Right? And in a standby stand, you're going to arrest a man running, because right now there's no regard, right? Life no regard whatsoever.
Very, very,
very none whatsoever. You see, for a few dollars more, the entire country is put at risk, because we're not manufacturing guns here.
I'm going to let you go to the break, and guys, we'll be right back. Keep it locked.
Yeah.
And when I come, remember, I have a public secret to tell you. I think plenty people go get vexed with me this morning. Guys, we'll be right back. Keep it locked.
Oh Lord. Yeah, tune. Yeah, keep it right there, Lower down a little bit. Information again. Must give a little information for this tune. You ready, Bugman? We went up Tabakit by a friend of mine named Jungle. And we end up 2 miles in the forest, 12 o'clock midnight. And we make a cook in a cabbage field. Right? Reach home about 4 o'clock in the morning. And wake up next morning. And when I walk in the next room, I see my wife ironing something. And I just watch she. And the song come into my head. And I just start to sing all kind of thing. I can't pull the note good. La 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 la. Na 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 na. Keep it low right there. Catch up. The way you walk, way you talk, way you smile. When you looked at me, girl, for a while, started blush like a child. But I ain't playing no games now. I will do anything for your love. Just say the word now. You're my day, you're my night, you're my sun, you're my rain, you're my world now. I've got to have you. I've got to hold you. I've got to squeeze you. I'm longing for your love, girl. I've got to have you. I've got to hold you. I've got to set my soul on fire. You set my soul on fire. You set my soul on fire. And you set my soul on fire. Yeah. Fire, fire. The first time I saw your face, girl, I know that I met my bride now. Never felt this way for anyone. So real inside now. I can see myself taking strolls with you in the park now. Hugging up, kissing up, loving up. Let me go, let me go. I've got to have you. I've got to hold you. I've got to squeeze you. I'm longing for you. I've got to have you. Got to hold you up. I've got to win your heart. You set my soul on fire. Na, na, na. You set my soul on fire. Yeah, 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 yeah. You set my soul on fire. Na, 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 na. You set my soul on fire. Fire. Uh-huh. What a band song in sweet.
KMC.
Yes, Sammy.
Every Friday, it's all about Fire Mood Soca Fridays with MC Duke and Selector Kochi from 6 straight to 9 p.m. blazing all the latest and past soca hits. So remember, make it a line, make it a day, rock and come in, you know. It's all about Fire Mood Soca Fridays on the Street 919 FM. Don't know.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM for the program The Final Hour with Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr. and his wife Nikki Garcia for the Bible study every Thursday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Mark chapter 16 verse 15 says, "Go into all the world and preach this gospel for every creature, for I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation."
You are invited to join Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center, located at number 399 Eastern Main Road, Guayco in Sangre Grande, for the old-time gospel hour all-night prayer. This and every Friday evening on the Street 919 FM from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Designed with you in mind, this program deals with today's issues from a biblical perspective. You will also be given the opportunity to call in and interact with us. Micah 6:8 says, He hath showed thee, O man, what is good and what doeth the Lord require of thee, but to justly and to love mercy and walk humbly with thy God. Your financial support through the First Citizens Bank will be greatly appreciated. Account number 795222. For further information, call 753-1113 or email us at church668hope@gmail.com.
Together we aspired, and together we have achieved.
We have achieved 6 decades of independence.
We must continue to embrace our watchwords:
discipline,
production, and tolerance.
Our national flag belongs to all of us.
So let us move together, hand in hand,
to create a better
and safe Trinidad and Tobago. Happy 60th Independence to Trinidad and Tobago from the Street 919 FM family.
Happy Independence, TNT.
If you're experiencing pain, constipation, headaches, poor blood circulation, high or low blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, swollen or darkened feet, come visit us at Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. We at Health and Wealth Lifestyle offer a wide range of services. Come and experience our new 3D analyzer, which allows you to have a look inside your body. We also provide live blood analysis, iridology, ionic foot detox with foot soak and foot massage, aquatherapy, full body massage, and organic supplements on sale such as Nano Silver, Nano Zinc, Body Light, cold pressed sesame oil, and more. Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at number 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. For more information, call 275-8359 or 288-1108.
Join Nicole Huggins for Health and Wealth Lifestyle Tuesday morning from 11:05 to 12 noon, right here on the Street 919 FM.
Tune into the Street 91.9 FM
every Sunday from 10:05 a.m. to 11 a.m.
for the Repairing of the Breach radio program with me, Bishop Showinau Thomas.
The scripture says, and they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places.
Thou shalt raise up the foundation of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairers of the breach, the restorers of the paths to dwell in.
Don't miss it. Repairing the Breach radio program with Bishop Sherwin R. Thomas on the Street 919 FM every Sunday from 10:05 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Join Pastor Kelvin Heinerine and friends for The Way, The Truth, The Life Radio Ministry, a Church of God ministry, live on the Street 919 FM from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. This and every Sunday on the Street 919 FM. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh to the Father except through me. John chapter 14, verse 6. For further information, contact 686-3845, 349-5178, or 342-7303.
Good about that looking like a real bad.
Are you ready for that boat experience again? The Sea Champion and the Embassy say, book with us for that unforgettable boat ride experience. Sea Champion leaving from King's Wharf, San Fernando, and the Embassy leaving from Breakfast Shed, Port of Spain, or Westside Trinidad. For more information, call 399-5959 to 281-4723 or email us at coralvisiontT@gmail.com. Book now and reserve your cruise.
Hey, that boat, that look like it's not wet.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Yo, this is your boy Ziggy Rankin, and right now you're listening to the Titans of Democracy. You don't know. Real talk.
So welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're locked on to the Street 919 FM. This is your Titans of Democracy with Dominic Romaine and Bruce Wayne. Yes, Dominic.
Yeah, Bruce, I sent you something on WhatsApp there.
So Dominic,
you could put that up for me.
Yeah, this
Please.
No comment. You see how everybody does have their little government job, so to say?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And for those of them that abuse this, I wish I had a government job too, Dominic. When I finish work on the radio in the morning, I go to my job after.
Right.
I hope somebody, the right person listening could, I don't mind taking it in works, on the electrical, seeing that I'm pursuing my electrical and stuff, Yeah, I think I will make a, nice electrician within the works ministry,
The electrical inspectorate, I think.
All of that. Because it have people who have these jobs that just...
Yeah.
You have a government job and you... Any noise, whatever, how it goes, But then, when the union say, boo, we all up in arms. Dominic, I forwarded your information that you now sent me here.
Yes.
I don't know. If the unions of the day, how they move it and everything, I ain't seen a union that could represent me in anything.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, as far as I am seeing, and if I am wrong, one of them could probably call and tell me different. The heads of these unions don't seem to be doing much for the people they represent.
They're not.
So I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
It's not just you.
I not seen the bigger picture. I don't know.
No, it's not just you.
Ah, boy.
The fact of the matter is, Bruce, that none of these union leaders can really commiserate with the people that they represent. So that when I hear Roger, Anizet, Baptiste, and the rest of them, I haven't heard Lambert in a while. But when I hear them talking about, the struggles of workers and all of that, and putting food on the table, when has Roger ever had to worry about putting food on the table? When? What type of vehicle does Roger drive? Even when Roger was working Petrotrin, he never had to worry about putting food on the table and struggles and so on. These men living high off the hog. Look at what's his name? When Watson Duke. As soon as Watson Duke came into leadership of the PSA, what did he do? The first thing he bought was a BMW 5 Series. And then after the BMW 5 Series came the Mercedes. And then when he got into the accident, he probably said, praise God. And he did the excuse to get rid of this Mercedes. Time to upgrade. He went to a Range Rover. Yeah?
Wow.
Why he didn't get a Tita? Why he didn't get a selfie?
With my union dues.
Yeah. How do you are representing all of these thousands of workers who are struggling. Some of them don't know what ownership of a car is, right? All they know is PTSC, the bus route, the main road. That's what they know. The highway. Yeah? Stand up waiting for maxi, taxi. That's what they know.
You ain't even put in work yet, you're going and buy vehicle.
Correct, as soon as you came in. And then it had nothing cheaper than that. You got games. The man even still buy a 3 Series, you know. Buy a BMW 5 Series. It costs over $500,000. Right? Over $500,000 for that vehicle. Numbers dues. But the members ain't studying that. Right? Roger used to drive. He too had a BMW 5 Series because I remember at one time he had put it up for sale and one of my colleagues was interested in buying it and he came by the office. So he sent his driver by the office so that my colleague could take a look at it and go for a test drive or whatever it is. I think subsequent to that he would have upgraded. But again, these workers not looking at that. They're not asking any questions as to where their dues are going, right? Instead, Roger up and down the place on Megahorn, talking about special branch. You know, the level of nastiness that these big hardback men have engaged in, it is really, really, really unfortunate, right? So all of them now, every time they give a speech or talk about anything, they have to find a way to throw in special branch and special branch and special branch. You have my picture there, Bruce?
Yes.
Put it up for me, please. I want to pay special attention to the man this morning, and well, Angie's and that. So Angie has come out of hibernation for a little bit. Thank you, Angie.
Angie is still upset, eh?
The man in the white tights with the banana. Yeah. Now, if I didn't know who he was, I wouldn't think that was Photoshop. Eh? And I think that is perhaps the best body. That is perhaps the best body for that individual. Yeah. Yeah. You know, no disrespect to the transgender community, but I honestly think that suits him. I think he is definitely a woman trapped in a man's body, and he's reaching out, he's crying out, you know, for help. Yeah, he's crying out for help. I think he wants to come out because I listened to this nastiness last night, Bruce. You know, last night was the Monday night forum. Yeah. And I tuned in to hear what the Miss Leader of the opposition had to say. I tuned in late, so I had to go and unfortunately put myself through the stress of having to rewind and watch. Right? So when I rewind, I started from Rudy Indasing. It is the most difficult thing to listen to Rudy Indasing. That drawl that this man has is like, you know, you've heard people talk about somebody his fingernails across a blackboard. Mm-hmm. It's worse than that. Yeah. Listening to this man is make you want to take a pencil and stab yourself in the eye. It's that bad. It's really, really that bad. I mean, oh gosh.
So good.
And the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and it's like, you see, I can't deal, Bruce, anyway. And listen to this man, right? So they talk about Stuart Jump going to Venezuela. And then, of course, he too had to reference special branch. And he who, something about special branch would be beaten in the general election with a special branch. And then after him came, well, whoever. And then the Doglaya came on. He came on just before Kamla Prasad says, Bruce, the level of nastiness. When you think this man has reached rock bottom, you say, hold my punching. You ain't hear nothing yet. This man went on last night. Now he's talking about Dr. Rowley. And apparently there was an article that appeared in yesterday's newspaper with respect to Dr. Rowley's response to Anizet. Yeah, his Anizet's feigned concern for women and respect for women and so on. Well, boy, they went to Tom and that. The Doglaya. He said, Anizet don't have the time or something so to respond to you, but I drinking taking medicine for anisette or something. So you know the saying. Yeah.
I drinking medicine for anisette cold.
Anisette or some kind of shoppiness. Say a lie at time. This, what's the best thing I could use? As watchman, to borrow a term from watchman. Just bald-headed afterboot, right? This disgusting piece of filth. I swear that after that meeting, when they have to go home, it's just a whole lineup of swim-called garbage trucks is just be waiting to take them, right? There's only filth in that meeting. From the leader come right down to all the attendees. All of them need to go home in the back of a rubbish truck. Trash. That's what they are. I mean, to even call them the ocean of deplorables now, Bruce, it still isn't enough. There's no limit to the level of nasty that these people will go to. So I listened to this man last night want to attack the Prime Minister for the statement that he put out with respect to anisette. I'm talking about old Dr. Rowley, that he has disrespected women. So they have this video that they play since last week. So they have little clips of things that Dr. Rowley has said over the years. And Dr. Rowley had called Kamala Jamet. He never called Kamala Jamet. He referred to her behavior as geometry. And I agreed with that, especially after listening to her last night. So I am not surprised that she has not condemned Anil Roberts for the nastiness that he has been saying over the last couple of weeks. In fact, last night she doubled down in her support of him saying those things. So he calls out a list, right? So he says he's challenging Dr. Rowley to sue him for the things that he said. And he said, because bring it on, Rowley. Me and my lawyers, we're ready. Because we have a whole list of persons that we're going to subpoena to come and testify on our behalf. And he calls out a running list of women who he says the Prime Minister has had relations with. So he says 3 female members of cabinet, 2 senior official government, 2 senior public officials, some women in the Prime Office of the Prime Minister. You know, nastiness. He said the 17-year-old girl that the Prime Minister whined on for Carnival while his family was looking on, his daughter's wife and his daughters and his grandchildren were looking on, and he was whining on this 17-year-old girl. And then when she turned 21, she got an HTC house for that wine. And so no regard for the young lady. No regard for her family.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. And that she's 25 years old now. And so apparently they keep in track on this poor young girl. This poor girl who saw the Prime Minister playing mass, and she probably decided to take an opportunity. Well, let me get a little dance with the Prime Minister, right? They have taken this to the depths of nastiness. That filthy... words escape me. I don't like to use the word hater, Bruce. I detest Anil Roberts. Detest that man. And I am, I am incensed that the misleader of the opposition has this nasty, disgusting rag in the Senate of this country, that this man has the title of Senate, right? The nastiness he talked about, he said, included in the list is the Speaker of the House, the President of the Senate. The only person he say that the Prime Minister with is the President. And I suppose he might say that eventually too. Yeah? This disgusting man, the levels that he went to last night, I'm talking about disrespect for women. Why is he a single father? At least Dr. Rowley is still married. Yeah? He still have a wife. You single. Every night when you go to bed, well, I can't say you go to bed by yourself because, I don't have any evidence of that. But seeing as how he seems to have an inclination towards bananas, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised in the least. Not surprising. And that is why that photo is so appropriate for that clown. Right? So appropriate for that clown. He take the cake. And then his ridiculous leader, who wants to be the next Prime Minister, and he talk about when you put us back in office and when you put us back in office. Right? This disgusting woman, after she comes on after him, praising him for that, Yes, and Senator Roberts for that powerful contribution. Really, Kamala? A powerful contribution in which he disrespects the Prime Minister in every way possible. I know what's even worse. You all carried that live on TV Jagrati. So people looking at it in their homes, right? Who didn't want to attend, who couldn't attend, whatever it is. And I'm sure some of these homes have children in it, listening and watching to this nastiness, right? And that is why will say that the UNC as a party is an ocean of deplorables, from captain to cook, everyone all in. Because of those of you who continue to uphold this nastiness and wouldn't speak out, only just as bad. The upholders, worse than the thief. So don't figure because you might be upset with some of the things that's saying, but you sit down in the corner and you ain't saying nothing, you're just as bad. So that's why I will throw you all into the lot of the ocean of deplorables. And as Fitzgerald Hines said, alligators in the same murky lagoon. And that has nothing to do with race. It has to do with the mentality of UNC supporters who will continue to uphold this nastiness, even if they do agree with it, will not speak out against it. And that your leader, who wants to be the prime minister of this country, gets up to talk about, how Dr. Rowley disrespects women and he's the biggest hypocrite. But you sit down there for about 10 to 15 minutes and listen to Anil Roberts say the nastiest things about so many women in this country, making allegations about them having an affair with the prime minister and with the prime minister sharing sperm all over the place. Bruce, it didn't have this nastiness, didn't say, I'm upset to even repeat the things that he said. And she sat down there, listened to that, all of that nastiness, and then get up after him and say, yes, that was a powerful contribution. It's like when certain callers call in on a Saturday, right? After those gentlemen talk the nonsense that they talk, that we come in to educate and inform, but only demonstrating every Saturday that they're miseducated and uninformed. And then you have people like Mr. Tabakit and so on who will call in and say, yes, excellent contribution. Go to the head of the class. Yes, you're top of the class today. Only misinformation. How much nonsense I heard on Saturday, I had to come on Sunday to debunk. I don't really listen to that. I don't have time for that. These guys give me a headache, brain freeze, to listen to that trash. It's like, I get so upset when I listen to that. It's like, really? You men only have smartphones, or you're still operating with Me Too? I cannot believe that these men have smartphones and coming on every Saturday and talking that trash. And then you have people calling and substantiating that foolishness. And it demonstrates the intellectual capacity of the people who listen to that program. But anyway, that's not what I want this morning, right? Is that the misleader of the opposition demonstrated last night, again, poor judgment and why she should never serve as prime minister of this country again. That you're encouraging that kind of behavior. And that is why the PNM is always held to a higher standard than the UNC and will always be held to a higher standard. You know why? Because of the nastiness that came out of that dog's mouth last night. I'm calling him that. I apologize to dogs everywhere, right? I apologize to you all for calling him that. Yeah? Maybe I should call him something else. Anyway, let me not go there. I'm going to keep it radio friendly. Right? If a minister of the PNM or some senior official in the PNM had said anything like that, Bruce, people would be surprised. What? But he ain't not come out from that man's mouth. Par for the course. No surprise there. Listening to Rudy and that's, I expect nothing from them better. As a matter of fact, I expect nothing better from none of them. Maybe if I heard that come out of the mouth of Rushton Parry, I might be surprised because he's one of the few who still have a modicum of decency in that party. But he too seems to be degenerated. But I saw he put out a post that I read on Sunday morning in support of Samuel Sanka, the UNC councillor who went to the meeting there last week. And as I said, it seems he borrowed somebody's testicles to put out that post on Facebook because, the men in the UNC is a bunch of eunuchs, right? All of them emasculated. So when they come into office, as part of the requirement to serve under Kamla, at the behest of Kamla Prasad Bisesa, for a period of servitude, you are required to relinquish your testicles for a period of 3 years as a councillor or 5 as a member of parliament. Do ask to use it or see, well, maybe she might give you visitation rights. So maybe once a year you could get to peep it and remember what your testicles look like. Yeah? But for the most part, if you wanted to stand up to her, you have to borrow somebody else's. Right? And so when I listened last night, and then she has the audacity to talk about the Prime Minister and him being a hypocrite. For weeks on end, Bruce, she was talking about this issue with Paris and the vehicle. You know when they have nothing to talk about, right? So last night she had precious little to speak of. So the only she saw a lengthy video from apparently they had a family day last week. Some corridor climb and so on and whatnot and stuff. So, as a filler now. So she really had nothing to talk about. And you know when she's had a sip and when she needs one. Because when she's had a sip, apparently her speech is a little better. Yeah, you could understand what she said. When she's in need of a sip, she eats up her words. As Panda says, she's tied up her tongue is tied up in her mouth. Last night she needed a sip. Yeah? So she couldn't talk for too long now because, she started to get a little jittery and started to drift. Yeah. So they had that filler when he showing us set of videos and stuff. So the only thing she could find to talk about last night is John going to Venezuela. And the issue of, now she just touched on the issue of David Lee. And you would have read it earlier on where she was saying that there is no corruption there and that everything was above board in that transaction. And this is an old story from 2 years ago that the PNM dredged up because of all the pressure that they taken from the union and so on. So they tried to distract with this story. The media contacted David Lee. David Lee said nothing. He has no comment to make. They contacted Kirk Mayhew. Kirk Mayhew said that the party has no statement to make at this time. But your leader coming on a public platform to say that everything is above board and there was nothing there. Really? You're so sure about that? Did you go and dig up in the Integrity Commission filings like you did with Faris? Did you inspect it with a fine-tooth comb or you called David Lee and said, David, what is going on there, boy? And he said, nah, man, leader, you don't worry yourself. All right, no problem. Right? So listen to Anna Roberts call Dr. Rowley Lee's this Prime Minister. And that this Prime Minister has taken more holidays and more vacation than anybody else. Are you for real? You serious? The woman who used to have 5-day weekends? Miss, I am advised, never informed.
And?
Yeah, like you forget that. You forgot that. It was not the PNM say that. One of her closest advisors, Gary Griffith, he says so. 5-day weekends. Sometimes how many times she missed cabinet? Probably because she was under the influence. Yeah, she couldn't come to cabinet meeting, so everybody else chair meeting. Now when she not on holiday, she out of the country, but talking about this Prime Minister always out of the country, and he went out of the country for 27 days and what he was doing and all of that. This is the example that these people set in. This is the party that is telling you, give us another 5 years. This is the party that is telling you they are the government in waiting. But look at the characters. Look at the characters that they present to you. You even could imagine having to put up with Anil Roberts as a minister of government, that filthy, nasty, dirty. Every time, Bruce, I mention this, I just get upset. I mean, how can you live in a country with something like that as a government minister? I can't have no respect for him. Imagine you go somewhere and he come to give a speech and when he walk in the room, he had to stand up my foot. Spit on the ground when he come inside and walk out. You know, Kingsley like to say, toi? Yes, toi. Whenever I think about Anil Roberts. But she praised him last night. Yes, that is a powerful contribution. Powerful contribution from Senator Anil. Yeah. While you allowed him to denigrate and say the worst things about so many women in this country. Women who hold high positions. Women who are supposed to be looked up to by the young girls in this country as to positions that they could aspire to as exemplars. You allowed Anil Roberts to waste them down and make allegations that these people have families. That's what she does study, you know. They have families, they have husbands, they have spouses, they have children. Yeah. Some of them grandchildren. And when you have this nastiness, this disgusting man, night after night, saying the worst things and making allegations that you know it is for you to hear a man who's a senator, no less, saying that your mother, your grandmother, your aunt, or whoever it is having an affair with the Prime Minister. They don't spare any thought for these people's families. And they figure out when they say these things that they're only jamming Rowley and Rowley and Rowley. No. But when you say things about them on the other side, they vex. Right? But as I told Marsha Walker, we're still waiting for the avalanche lawsuits. Yeah. Yeah. Going on with Christian Gokul. What's going on there? You not interested again? Huh? Or is that little escapade still going on? Jack says so. Jack said so. What's going on? Tell us now. When it is that Jack got out the thing, but man hiding behind, sit down in the back seat, hiding in the back seat at the Prado, making their way to the Prime Minister's residence. All they had issues with that, Jason D'Souza, Sammy John. But all they like what's going on, disgusting people, boy. I can ever support that party. All you're mad, yes? Mad. So let me see something here. Right. Yeah. Half the time she's not even in Parliament. Why? I ain't gonna give her excuse or a reason for that. And then when she come Parliament and she has to give her a presentation, what's happened? They had to put a chair next to her. And like they already planned the thing. So here what? I will say this, and you always start to beat the desk and make a certain noise for about 5 minutes so I could get 5 minutes to sit down. We know the play. They ain't fooling nobody. And then when if it is that she come and she to go to one of these meetings and she can't stand up, they bring Mundilal to serenade her. Because she needs to sit down for a little while to catch her breath. So she sit down and they bring Khadija to sit down next to her and he's singing. Since when he's a Chantel? Eh? Since when? All of a sudden, Mundilal is a singer. Look, will you miss me with that BS, huh? Bruce.
Boy, Dominic.
You see, but as I go through that, I used to listen to this nastiness every Monday night, and I couldn't listen to the whole thing, eh? But as man would say, she uma popcorn and a big popcorn and a Coke. She really wastes my time last. Honestly. I could have been doing something better, Bruce. I could have taken a sleep dose off. I had work to do. I could have been doing. I take time off to listen to that trash. I should send them a bill, or they waste my time. Come better than that now. But of course, the members of the literati only enjoy that. Yeah, Anil. Yeah, boy, get them, Anil, get them. Every time Anil Roberts opens his mouth, whether it's on the Monday Night Forum or any platform that he uses, and you'll encourage that, it just goes to show that the PNM will always be held to a higher standard than the UNC. You will always be beneath the PNM. Now, Central don't like to hear that. But the UNC will always be beneath the PNM. That is why whenever we hear a member of the UNC arrested for anything, we're not surprised. Okay, another one. Because we expect that from you all. That whenever you all hold office of whatever it is or whatever level, we expect only corruption from you all. Whether you're in opposition or in government, that's what we expect from UNC politician. Corruption. That's all they're good for. Just go in there to thief. And you all have nothing, you all have no moral authority to accuse the PNM of anything. As we always say, whenever you all have to talk about PNM corruption, or PNM invent corruption, well, give us examples now. The only example of recent vintage you all could talk about is Marlene McDonald, and anything before that, all you had to go back to the 1970s. 5 decades. 50 years, you all had to go back to talk about O'Halloran and Privat. Only a shame, but with the PNM in office for 40-something years and 40-something years. How many PNM politicians come before the court? You all had 11 years in power. And how many of your politicians was before the court? You had from Prime Minister, Attorney General, Senator, Councillor, Minister, across the board. No position is safe with all them. Imagine a minister charged for murder. That is the extent. And that is a badge of shame that UNC will always have to wear. And all you can say what all you want. That is something you all cannot erase. That is a fact that the majority of politicians before the courthouse came from the house of the setting sun, the United National Congress. So what all you could talk about from now till the cows come home about the PNM, this and the PNM corruption, the PNM and the PNM. At the end of the day, every time you call yourself UNC and proud, you're proud to know that the majority of the politicians before the courthouse came from your party. Basket of deplorables. Ocean of deplorables. And I will keep repeating that. All your vex, that's all your business. Go and listen to the underground report where it's misinformation from morning till noon. Yeah? Anyway, Bruce, you can open the lines there.
Boy. So guys, you can call us at 342-0081 and 466-5391. So the lines are now open. Deplorables, boy. You can't himself say, you can't say basket, you can't say ocean, you can't say...
Basket too small, Bruce. Yeah. Too small. And see, they had the family day and stuff. You mentioned it there just now. All of them who was criticizing Kamala before. You know, when I tell you the men in the UNC, all of them supposed to be wearing thongs and what's called it, hipsters. No, that's what they're supposed to be wearing, Bruce. Girdle. That's what they're supposed to be wearing. Petticoat. You're not supposed to be wearing pants. Disgusting. That's what Larry Lala and them running back to kowtow to her because they figure, hey, the union and everybody rises up against the PNM, so we might have a good chance again. Go ahead. It's 3-4 years we still have. Wait.
Caller, good morning.
Blessed morning to you, Bruce.
Morning, my brother. How you doing?
Good to be in the land of the living of Georgia. The morning, looking beautiful. Morning, Dominic.
Morning, sir.
And by extension, the titans of democracy. These people never care about country. I keep repeating that. They was on taxpayers' money all the while. Especially men like Roger and Yvette and them. What is Roger's salary? What is an Yvette and these guys' salary? What did they do for the people that they represent? We had a pandemic. I didn't see them come out and do anything. And that's a stink bout. The two poll man, he brain gone. He can't live out the horn he get from the Rasta man. So he had to continue doing what he's doing and saying what he's saying. But time longer than trying, my brothers. Time longer than trying. We could deal with that. I looked on and listened to Georgia. You all have a safe and blessed day.
You too,
God is the boss.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, King. God.
Caller, good morning.
Hi, morning, Bruce. Morning, Dominic.
Good morning, Jen.
Morning, Jen.
Morning to all the callers and listeners on 91.9. Mr. Chance, wanted to open as Dina, Angie. Darling, we love you. Be blessed. Bataria, Rowley Jr., the whole crew from Tobago, Miss Rowley, Miss Crosby, Mount St. George, Mr. Archer, everybody, and all these silent listeners. Dominic, we would have heard enough stories about Mrs. Kamla Prasad-Bissessar that she hasn't taken anybody to court for saying. Jack saying she drunk and fall on Gandhi statue. Miss Willa St. Rose saying she have a monkey on her back. We heard this gentleman who apparently was the bodyguard of Mr. Panley would have spoken about her drinking and all that. We have heard those things. She has not discounted it. She has not taken anybody to court. So I just go in with them saying, if somebody has that issue of alcoholism and drinking, after a while it does take effect on your body. It will take effect on your cognition also, how you think, how you process things. So if you have to go by what everybody has been saying about Ms. Kamla Prasad-Bissessar, we could only logically assume she has a problem with alcohol. And if that is happening at her level, if you are a slave to any addiction, when your body in need of it or feels it, you will say all kind of things. And when you take it, you will do all type of things. And to me, that is very, very unhealthy. And what that does, people take advantage of you, because if you're in a position of power and you could help them with certain things, it is logical they may get you in that state where you're not able to function properly. You know, they'll say some people, when they smell the rum cork, that alone does get them drunk. We don't know if there's a situation happening with Ms. Kamla Prasad-Bissessar based on all the things we are hearing. So I'm very concerned about her health, just as they were concerned about Dr. Rowley's health, because the opposition is needed in this country. It's a democratic system, and we follow the English way of model of governance, right? So opposition is very important. They are the government in waiting, and they are the ones to keep our government on its toes. That is logically. I don't know what they're doing right now. I want to just quickly say, because this is very important, I have been challenged about my qualification to speak on labor, and I just want to put it out here. People, I graduated from Cipriani College of Labor and Cooperative Study. I went on 2 occasions, won 2 scholarships from PSA when we had a good president, Ms. Jennifer Baptiste Primus. So I graduated with a certificate in industrial relations and an associate degree in labor studies. My thesis was on the effects of globalization on unions in the Caribbean, especially emphasis on Trinidad and Tobago. So that's where my passion comes from. I had to do research because it was data-driven. So I want to put that to rest. Quickly with the negotiations for public officers who may listen and others. OWTU in negotiation talks with Yara Limited, Trinidad Limited, because they represent the workers there. They have 2 negotiation period before Yara. And it's instructive that Mr. Rocha would have said that they're prepared to do everything legal into treating with the negotiation. However, they're not prepared to go to court, industrial court, when I say court. And there's a reason to me, logically, because just this year, a judgment was handed down in the industrial court against Estate Police Association and OWTU, who represent workers at Tiantec. Tiantec would have offered Estate Police 6%, which they refused. It went through a process. It went to industrial court from since 2018. OWTU had a 12% offer in a proposal. That too went to court in 2018. How much years later? This is 2022. A judgment was passed down that Tiantec, the court would have agreed with Tiantec, who said they can't pay more than the 6% for Estate Police, and they can't pay anything. The court agreed, the industrial court. And coming out of that judgment this year, which is a precedent-setting case, the both unions get 0-0-0 for the workers. I'm telling people this because it's important they understand. Since 1989, there has been judgment in the industrial court in favor of the employee, where when the employer say they can't pay, while the industrial court understand with all the data they bring, they always say pay the employee the money. Now that has been overturned, how much years later? About 30-something years later, where once the employer apparently has shown that they cannot pay, and they offered something and you refuse it, and it goes to industrial court after a long process, 0-0-0. So it is logical to assume if the CPO is offering XYZ and we cannot come to the table and negotiate like big people on both sides, and where we could look for other benefits other than just a percentage, land, house, and all those things, offsetting mortgage and bonds and whatever, and this should break down and go industrial court after the process, the chances are highly likely we will get 0-0-0. And I'm concerned about it because I saw SWTU settled with Angostura for 7% for the workers up there for the period 2020 to 2022 or 7%. And Leroy Batiste was asked, if the government changed the position with CPO for 7%, will PSA accept it? And he just simply said no. While NUGFW would have said, we will look at it carefully, we will examine it, and if our retirees is not affected, we will look at it. And it concerned me that Leroy Batiste, Bagno, president of PSA, will just simply said no. On whose behalf he's saying that because he hasn't spoken to the General Counsel, nobody. And I'm warning PSA members, if we allow this Bagno president to continue with his rant and raving and not sit and negotiate properly on public officers' behalf, and God forbid this ends up in industrial court, the trend may continue 0-0-0. That is facts, not fiction. Thank you, Bruce, and allow me the opportunity to always explain myself properly. You all be blessed. Bye.
You're welcome, Jen. So, guys, you can call us at 342-0081 and 466-5391. Let's see who's out there. Caller, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Dominic. Morning, Bruce. It's always a pleasure. I meant to call yesterday, but obviously that couldn't happen because of the issue you all were facing.
Yeah.
But I want to raise a little issue my family experienced on the weekend. On Friday, one of our family members fell gravely ill and had to be rushed to the hospital. Now, the ambulance coming to pick her up, that's another story. You know, we always have challenges in that area, and that needs to be addressed. But not going into details with her issue after she was assessed. And I must say, the hospital staff and everybody involved were really absolutely amazing at their job and handling the situation. You know, yes, some people experience some issues with health. Yeah, but it was really good. We really were given good service. My angst and my concern is, unfortunately, she needed blood, and we had to mobilize quite an amount of people to give blood.
Okay.
And on Saturday, we went to the blood bank, and because of her situation, a lot of people came out to give blood. Unknowingly to the nurses at the blood bank, they weren't sure why so much people were coming to give blood to this one person. They didn't know of the specifics.
Yeah.
And that's besides the point. I guess that's a communications issue within the hospital. But where my issue lies is that one of the nurses came out and was asking me questions about the situation and why so much people were giving blood to this one patient. And I explained to her and I said, well, why did you ask? And she said, because if it is, we have, let's just say 10 people coming to give blood to this one individual, and they only use 8 of the 10 units that was chipped to her, because you know there's a chip system where you put the patient's name and everything. If they don't use 2 of the blood that were donated to her, because we know it's not the literal blood that's being donated on that day is given to the patient. You know, you replenish in the bank.
Yeah.
But if those 2 pints are not used, they dump it. And that's where I have an issue. Something needs to change. Now, it needs to fact check. More than one individual told me about the system at the blood bank and donating. And I think that needs to change because we have a very big problem of needing blood for, whatever situations the hospitals may need. And my thing is, if you have an excess for one person, once the blood is screened, etc., why couldn't it be put in the bank and be used for somebody else? You understand?
Yeah.
I think it's a precious commodity, and that's where my issue lies, I think the system needs to be a little more proactive, and if you have excess, screen it. Once it's good, you put it in the bank, because we need blood, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I really, really have an issue with that. So I hope that if there's somebody in the ministry who is listening, and if this, in fact, is the case, I'm hoping they look at changing this, because there are a lot of people who are willing to give, even if, yes, there's a chipped system. Keep what is good for whoever. Don't throw it away. Yeah. It makes no sense. That's just me,
I agree.
And kudos to the nurses at the blood bank and stuff. They're trying to make it so extra comfortable for individuals to donate, and I really hope the citizens of Trinidad, I already make a promise to not wait for situations like this to donate, but to make it a customary thing. And people, if they can look into it, once you're healthy or individuals can be healthy, try and look at donating blood to Trinidad and Tobago Blood Bank. They need it, we need it. You never know when it will be beneficial to not only yourself, but your family. Yeah?
Yeah.
And that's my issue. Good morning, guys, again. Have a good day.
Thank you. Take care.
And that's interesting, Bruce, because I know quite recently the Minister of Health was appealing to more persons to come forward and donate blood. Yeah. So, wow, that's interesting. I mean,
that whole Traore thing is...
Yeah. Or some senior official in the Ministry of Health to explain to us if there's a process and why that is so. Because every time a family member need blood, there's always a stress most times to get people to go and donate. So if it is that the blood bank has an excess, they could take that pressure off of people. So, wow. Interesting.
Let's see who's out there. Caller, good morning.
Hey, Bruce, good morning.
Morning.
Dominic, good morning.
Morning, sir.
You know, there's a lot of public servants who will gladly take the 5% and then go through that set of stress that the union then want to put them through. Because when you look at it at the end of the day, a lot of people understand what is going on, because communicating the information to the public, I can't say that the government ain't doing a good job of it. They're doing their part. It's just that misinformation and people with their agendas in the media houses and them trying to skew that information. But a lot of people understand what it is going on. The union leaders and presidents and them do not already worry, because at the end of the day, you pay your dues, and when they get in their contracts from the same organization that they work in, you workers will get nothing out of that. But what workers had to do, because I was talking to a friend working in the RHG. He is not no fan of the PNM and Dr. Rowley. And he brought that attention that he prefer to get him money now. He don't want to waste that time and go on mad, because he said Friday go on there, he said he's not going to mad. Well, actually he did mad, because he was living with me and we were discussing that. And that was the agenda of the topic there, on the marches and the representation that they're getting from the union it is below par, and a new generation of union leaders need to come forward now. No longer must we go through that, because we passed them days long time with the butler. The butler struggle has changed in many ways, because we have an industrial court. We have laws that is pro workers. So the times when Butler and them had was to struggle with those French Creoles and those Europeans and them who own the sugar factories and all the factories and all the things, and all the wealth was just going back to motherland, England, and those places. It's no longer so. We are in control of our own business now because we are independent. So no longer we need those sort of draconian strategies by the unions. We need something better. You know, Ansel Roger and them fellas and them had rejected there was this thing that the government put up to raise funds that making one set of money now, and when that was offered to them first, the blanket, they didn't want it. But workers would have benefited on that, other than, getting 8% and all that nonsense. You would have been benefiting more, and you would have had a saving, because when these workers and them get our money, they spend it out and blow it. And 5 years after that, they have a cent on nothing to show that, not all, but some of them. And as a matter of fact, I could probably say the majority of them. So this is where the unions and them need to challenge it, put they focus their thing there. And before I go, you know, Ms. Kamala Persad-Bissessar and them told us that Patrick Manning sold his car to a drug lord, and the latest one here was Faris and the Porsche, and sell it to this one and that. And they had the information there, because first thing as the opposition you do is to get the information and take it to the Integrity Commission. I sure the Integrity Commission would have given them the information, because Faris in the long run had was to put that into the public domain, where he filed that in the public, into the Integrity Commission and all those things. And you know, while that was happening, while the UNC was telling us all of that, you know, you had the same issue with Lee. Around the same time with Lee. No, say here Kamala Persad-Bissessar, what she said? What she said, she defending Lee Dong taping there? It shows that Ms. Kamala Persad-Bissessar is really a hypocrite. And you cannot take nothing for word from this lady. Because anything she tells you as the opposition leader of Trinidad and Tobago, it always comes with an agenda. And that is where my problem with Kamala. Thank you.
Take another one. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Dominic and Bruce. This
Morning.
is Richard. And what I neglected to say about the blood donation, and I hear Dominic questioning something. That dumping of blood is only towards the treating system. Now, if they are donators, it's different. You know, like if you just go in to donate blood, that's a different thing. But what they were saying is if I have 10 people come to donate blood to me, and I only use 8 of those pints that was treated to me, the 2 pints will be dumped. You understand what I'm saying?
But why dump it?
That's what we were saying. Even the nurses found that the whole system is archaic. And my thing is, if you realize it's not the best practice for things like that, then why does it take so extremely long to change something like that, you know?
Yeah.
So if somebody goes to donate blood, or you have a blood bank, you know, some people, they donate over the years, and they build up their bank, so they will have 4 pints or 6 pints or whatever have you. That's different. But if an emergency and a copious amount of people come to donate and they don't use all for that person, you know, then they dump. You know, so I don't know. It's ridiculous. Here's Nigel.
Morning, Bruce. Morning, Dominic. Dominic is a Crater Lake boy. A Crater Lake is the problem. Forget that. Yes, sir.
Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Brother Bruce. How are you?
Hi there, cool, Mr. Archer. How are you doing this morning?
There, man. How are you going?
He good.
Yeah, brother, yeah.
No.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Everything all right, Dominic?
Yeah,
man. Yeah, man.
Right. Bruce, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Trinidad. Bruce, first thing I want to say about this union movement. I want to make three things. The union doesn't understand long ago. They could have demonstrated and so on. You didn't have industrial court, you didn't have this. No, you have the court. So when you go and sit down, it's a set of lazy, wicked people. They're using the workforce to do their dirty job. Because when you listen to Anisha, either something wrong with Anisha, something wrong. You have a personal thing either with the government or the prime minister or somebody. Mr. Ruse lost his way. Showing off. You know, so often, Ruse was just showing off. I'm the union leader, and I could talk and do anything. They have to listen to me. That is not right. Then I'm missing a man. I'm missing a man, the NUGFW president. I'm missing him. I'm missing in action. Right? We come with the other fellow. Anil Roberts. Anil Roberts doesn't know his place at all. And you can't have a child in your house disrespecting people, telling people all kind of things. And you have them in your house and you are the father or the parent, not disciplining the child, that means you and the child are the same thing. And that's what happened with Anil Roberts and the opposition leader. The opposition leader allow Anil to talk anything about people, disrespect people, and then she come and supporting it on things that the contribution with Anil Roberts is so good. Last but not least, we have a situation in Tobago here with the hospital. Now, before when the past regime was there, anything in the hospital, they will talk about it, they will say all kind of things, they will do all kind of things. When you go in the medical section, air conditioner not working. Place hot like hell. Place hot like hell. You have to walk with your own fan. You have to do all kind of things. And nobody can say nothing in Tobago because they're afraid of losing their job, or the secretary or the chief secretary or whosoever, they threaten them with certain things. But Bruce and Dominic, Trinidad and Tobago, we have to be careful of our leaders. Our leaders, there is agendas within the union, and these people are up for some kind of foolishness because I cannot understand. They know the situation of the whole world, what's taking place in the world. And you have the industrial court. You're not sitting down to negotiate. Negotiate, that means me and you sit down and I say $10, you say $4. We sit down and we reason out the call with some mechanism. If I can't pay the 10, we'll give only 4 pieces of board or 3 pieces of nail or so on, and you sit down and you try no negotiation. But not one of these union leaders not exposing how much is their salary, how much pay cut they decide to take, so that this thing will be better, that you will pay less for the union dues, where they move it every time the money go up. I remember I used to pay $15 for union dues. I used to pay $15 for union dues. No, some union dues are 100, some is how much. So, brother, let me kneel and we have to kneel and pay for Trinidad and Tobago, especially in Trinidad with the state of murders in Trinidad and Tobago. Morning.
So, guys, with that, we're going to go to the break and we'll be right back. So, keep it locked. We'll be back.
Sing that on you.
Oh, good. Start now. Well.
If it's one thing I want, it's the government of even side of it. It's the government that look for the people first. It's the government that tell me we are one more thing, yeah. I want to get one. I want to go crazy. I want to play a mask. I just want a pretty lady. Do what we have to do, but yeah, what I want to do. If I had one wish, so much of the best. Don't want to have much of the best. If I had one wish. You ready? Oh, I'm telling you. are they ready to play twice again? Some carnival, we outside. They can chip it and won't get wine. I want to get wine. I want to get crazy, crazy. I want to have bar. And I want to have pretty lady. Do what we have to do. But yeah, what I want to do. If I had one wish. Don't forget, don't forget, don't forget.
George, you know what mash up? Lo. You know what mash up? Tell me. About you chicken outside my house. Greedy. Now we mash up again one more time now. Well.
Hold on. All the people who really wish Carnival was the way it used to be, put your 2-1 in for me here right now. Me say you wake up in the morning and you just realize Carnival again. Hold on. All you have to sing it louder than that. I want all you close all your eyes. Just go into deep inspiration like it was back in 2009 when the Carnival used to be the best. Let's go. Me say you wake up in the morning and you just realize sing Carnival again. And you're looking for your flag and you can't find your flag. Band start, band ready to jump. Me say you wake up in the morning and you just realize Carnival come back again. Everybody put up all your hand, put up all your flag. 1, 2, jump on them. Show me ya. Where ya? Thank you. I want to say thanks for giving me the opportunity to sing with you.
Is I get the opportunity to sing with you?
No, I get the opportunity to sing with you.
You like to call me first?
Because you locked the place.
Together we aspired, and together we have achieved.
We have achieved 6 decades of independence.
We must continue to embrace our watchwords:
discipline, production, and tolerance.
Our national flag belongs to all of us.
So let us move together, hand in hand,
to create a better
and safe Trinidad and Tobago. Happy 60th Independence to Trinidad and Tobago from the street 919 FM family.
Happy Independence, TNT.
In Trinidad and Tobago, there are so many things to talk about. Social issues, injustice, child abuse, domestic violence, political scandals, and much more. On HOTP, we will cover all that and much more. Don't forget, you can catch us every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday nights from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Facebook and Instagram. Hot off the press. Hot topics, no filter.
Hi, Trinidad and Tobago. This is yours truly, Pastor Charles, streaming live from Port of Spain, Trinidad, Marval Road, 91.9. Our services start from 12 midnight to 5 a.m. in the morning from the first, the second, and the last Wednesday of the month. We are going to have a TRME time in the presence of God. We will be praying, praise God, for our nation. We'll be praying for families. We'll be praying for those that are sick and those that are in need. Tune in to the best station, 91.5 FM Street Live, Port of Spain, Maribel.
If you're experiencing pain, constipation, headaches, poor blood circulation, high or low blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, swollen or darkened feet, come visit us at Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. We at Health and Wealth Lifestyle offer a wide range of services. Come and experience our new 3D analyzer, which allows you to have a look inside your body. We also provide live blood analysis, iridology, ionic foot detox with foot soak and foot massage, aquatherapy, full body massage, and organic supplements on sale such as Nano Silver, Nano Zinc, Body Light, cold pressed sesame oil, and more. Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at number 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. For more information, call 275-8359 or 288-1108.
Join Nicole Huggins for Health and Wealth Lifestyle
Tuesday morning from 11:05 to 12 noon.
right here on the street 919 FM.
Good about I'm looking like a real bad.
Are you ready for that boat experience again? The Sea Champion and the Embassy say, book with us for that unforgettable boat ride experience. Sea Champion leaving from King's Wharf, San Fernando, and the Embassy leaving from Breakfast Shed, Port of Spain, or Westside Trinidad. For more information, call 399-5959, 281-4723, or email us at coralvisiontt@gmail.com. Book now and reserve your cruise.
Hey, that boat I look like it's not wet.
Looking for a safe and relaxed professional massage therapist and nutritionist? Look no further. Nature's Touch with Empress Judy and Associates offers a natural approach to better health. Treat yourself to a professional massage therapy and nutrition advice in a safe and relaxed atmosphere. Rejuvenate your body, mind, and soul at Nature's Touch Therapy. For an appointment, please call or WhatsApp 1-868-398-8282 or visit our Facebook page. Remember, your health is our responsibility at Nature's Touch.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's Radio. Get in touch with God. Turn your radio.
Are invited to join Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center, located at number 399 Eastern Main Road, Guayco in Sangre Grande, for the Old Time Gospel Hour Family Radio Ministry every Sunday from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Check out the Children's Hour Worship Ministry of the Word and the Family Forum every Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. The Law and You every Friday evening from 9 a.m. to 5 a.m. All night prayer live on the Street 919 FM, designed with you in mind. This program deals with today's issues from a biblical perspective. You will also be given the opportunity to call in and interact with us. Micah 6:8 says, He had showeth thee, O main, and what doeth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with thy God. Your financial support through the First Citizens Bank will be greatly appreciated. Account number 795222. In the name of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly. For further information, call 753-1133 or email us at church668hope@gmail.com.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Yo, this is your boy Ziggy Rankin, and right now you're listening to the Titans of Democracy. You don't know. Real talk.
So welcome back. Just a bit of quick information for you. A Reggae Rock Sundays featuring MC Duke and Selector Kachi presents to you Reggae and Rockers on board the Embassy Yacht on September 24th. That's Republic Night. Boarding at 10 p.m., sailing 11 p.m. at the Hyatt Waterfront in Port of Spain. Get your reggae groove on with top DJs, Selector Kachi, TC and Heavy Duty, yours truly Bruce Wayne. Early bird tickets cost $150. After that, you pay $175. For tickets, you can call Selector Kachi at 777-7909 and MC Duke at 349-4121. Remember, it's Reggae Rockers, Republic Night. No oversized coolers, no glass bottles. Don't miss it. Champions, let's get ready to party in fine style aboard the Sea Champion. And yacht lovers, let's get ready to party on the luxurious Embassy Yacht. For more information, you can call us on 399-5959, 280-7512, or 324-4171. Or you can email coralvision at coralvisiontt@gmail.com. Join Pastor Kelvin Harry Narayan and friends for the Way, the Truth, the Life radio program, Radio Ministry, a Church of Life ministry, live on the street 909 FM every Sunday from 6:05 p.m. to 7 p.m. For further information, you can contact 686-3845 or 349-5178 or 342-7303. Tune in to the Street 909 FM every Thursday from 10:05 a.m. to 10:20 a.m. for the program Straight and Narrow, The Way of Life, the health store, being brought to you by Mrs. Arlene Collins Mohammed. For more information, check us out on Facebook or Instagram at Straight and Narrow, or visit our website at www.opulence.com/Arlene for Life. You can also call or WhatsApp us at 309-4697 or 620-9379. So guys, we're back. Dominic, anything before we open back up the lines?
Yeah. One of our listeners just sent me something and asked me to just touch on it. We've spoken on it before, and it's an appeal from the residents of Sunshine Circular number 2, Benny Road in Valencia, and they're calling on WASA for assistance. There's a leak in the road, and what appears to be an otherwise well-paved road. And the leak appears to the impact of the leak appears to be expanding. Again, we call this low-hanging fruit, Bruce. It's a simple fix. And I don't know if it is, WASA like to wait until the road pave and then they will come and dig it up to fix the problem. And the residents, again, of Sunshine Circular, number 2, Benny Road, Valencia, we are appealing to WASA. There's a leak there that's impacting the road. We already have so many issues with respect to the condition of the roads in the country, and these low-hanging fruit could assist, if you could fix it while it's still small, could assist in preventing a situation of burning tires and all of that. People should not have to resort to that type of activity just to get a simple thing done. So the leak is there, and water is wasting. Meanwhile, we have persons who have called the program earlier on, those who are crying out for water. In other parts of the country, people are begging for water they can't get, just get them one tank, and you will have water wasting here at Sunshine Circular number 2, Benny Road in Valencia. So WASA, if there's any of our listeners who is affiliated with WASA and who can address the situation, again, we are appealing to you. Sunshine Circular number 2, Benny Road in Valencia, there is a leak, and they are asking for you all to please attend to it urgently before it becomes worse, and then the government had to get costs for the state of the roads and so on, right? So WASA, please, again, Sunshine Circular number 2, Benny Road, Valencia, they're appealing to you. Please come check it out and see how quickly you can address that. Water is wasting, and water is precious, and we have people around the country who need water, right? So let's not waste it. Fix the problem, please. Yeah?
Let's see who's out there. Caller, good morning.
Hey, Bruce and Dominic, morning again.
Morning.
Dominic, concerning Sunday, with the flyover that they're building in Port there.
Yes.
I heard that, I saw it actually, that in the paper, the media, they're advising the public that I think it's the 28th or the 29th of this month that they're going to close up the traffic on the highway to facilitate the beams to go across the highway to village. Okay. And to your friends and them, your colleagues on this station, the misinformation that they don't make sense when they're talking. And maybe there should be a standard for talk show hosts that they must do at least a little research into what they're talking about before they speak. Because the government would have saved $250 million of the career interchange from the UNC. And one of the things I had heard around the time is that they will be using that to build the Diego Martin interchange. So one person saying the $500 million is costing to build that. And the next one jump on and say, $1 million, here's $1 million. Now, if you're lobbying for the UNC, are you making them that dotish statements when the truth is already out? You're really bringing down your party. And then again, you also is doing an injustice to people listening because they're misinforming. And the role of the media, and Matt and them pride themselves on that, is to inform the public. And what they're doing, they're misinforming the public. So I think it's high time now that with Matt and them should get to think, okay, you're free to talk and free to, to push your party's agenda, but I mean, not so blatant, boy. I mean, that didn't make no kind of sense at all. $1 million to build up, or $500 million to build up, and then you just recently, then you get some crooked contractors and them to bring down the price and retender to build over the Crepe interchange, which is a more bigger project than what is being built down there. But I am so happy when that will be fixed there because Bruce Boy, when I go on Diego Martin and to come down the Canas, you have to go, it's either you pass through 4 roads there on the Mount Coco and go down that road, or you go down to Mokwapo down there and turn by Peaks and come back up the road. It's real inconveniencing, boy. When long time we could have just, swing down right in Coquit and turn back. But Japan and they're not blocking off that. All right, later.
Caller, good morning.
Bruce, Dominic, morning. How you doing, man?
Morning, they're cool, man.
Yeah, man. Morning to Sharon, Mr. Chance and G. I'm just find them boy calling in him too often on this program. You know the whole life of the Salmon and everybody. Dominic, I hear you this morning, you're Bruce, and I understand your anger because the quality of politicians has deteriorated badly, especially under the UNC. It really, I mean, when you take the likes of Anil Roberts and what they debate about, it's nothing worthy and nothing in the interest of the people. And, that is put so because of culture. Because you see the similar thing in the U.S. where the Republican Party has deteriorated so badly with people like Getz and Marjorie Taylor Greene and being despicable and that type of thing. That's the quality of the politics in the UNC. And it's sad because who suffer are the people who remain a myopic bunch, hating Dr. Rowley and missing your question of policy introduction when that needs support. So they attack Dr. Rowley, they attack his wife, and they feel that once they do that, that is the quality of the politics and the conversation that is taking place on a Monday night, backed by a woman almost in her 70s or probably in her 70s, and they're comfortable with that. And hurrah and clapping to not knowing all of the things that are needed for supporting the parliament and so on is in their best interest. Because they're guaranteed 18 seats from a group of people who are totally myopic. And it's really sad. Because it's a downfall for others who out there, knowing fully well that what Dr. Rowley and they are suggesting in all the various areas about local government reform, property tax and revenue authority, they don't know if billions of dollars will be attained by if they sit down in the parliament like a responsible group and agree to these things. And if you're so care about the poor, because one of the things about the poor in this country is they are obliterated and abused by the UNC. The UNC is not a problem. The UNC use the umbrella of the poor as a means to tell them to go kill poor people. And I keep telling the people who believe that poverty will be a problem if the introduction of policies, which is, very worthy and for development of the people, if you poor, you don't own a house, why are you paying property tax? That's the problem. That's the problem. And the other thing, Jenny outlined it this morning. Bruce and Dominic, as you're well aware, if I'm coming to negotiate on behalf of employees, the first thing I want to do, Jenny made it clear, the court will not look at what you feel millions of dollars spent before and this and that before. The court will deal with what is before them in the current state of affairs. Now, the union are more politicized, so they criticize Dr. Rowley, they do this and all that, and they don't even use parity. They don't compare where it's all right. During the oil thing, you get this money and that money, and you put it on the table to negotiate. They come and they just march and criticize Dr. Rowley and the government. And poor employees sitting there, knowing fully well that if you take 4%, Dominic, I would have said, listen, I'm taking the 4%, but give me 211 or 202 or something, and settle the thing and move on to the next stage. So to end, it's sad. I love this country, but the biggest problem in this country, I'm telling Trinidadians who don't sit down and listen, your biggest problem is not Dr. Rowley and the PNM. Your biggest problem is the UNC. The UNC is your problem. The UNC is being paid millions of dollars every month of salary and everything else. Sitting there at the likes of Anil Roberts, who is totally despicable, really despicable, and that's the quality of your politician, sitting there in the Senate, upper house, where the debate standard has dropped, and to sit down there and tell people no to everything, and all you're comfortable with that. I'll go ahead. I end in. The thing I know is that our country is overwhelmingly strong in the right-thinking citizens, so the PNM will always come through with about 24 seats. UNC stay all you are under that leader, who I keep telling all you, she don't get up before 1. Thanks very much, fellas. All the best.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Caller, good morning.
Listen, Dominic.
Morning.
I want to find out what that man had in that coffin. I want to know. I want him to tell me what he had in that coffin that dragging all over this country. I want him to answer that for me, please, Mr. Gentleman. Could you please answer and tell me what you had in that coffin? I really would like to know. That's all I just have to say. I want to know what you had in that coffin. God knows what you had there. But this murder that's going on, my God, heaven help. Help. Lord Father God, help us. Help us. Oh my God.
We hear you, Gemma. You know, Bruce, when they had put up the sign in Oropuch, hide your children from Rowley. Right? That wasn't disrespectful. Hide your children from Rowley. But it's okay for your children to listen to Senator Anil Roberts on national TV talking about pum-pum politics. Yes. Them kind of thing, and who get position for giving up pum-pum and all kind of thing. Right? And that is acceptable language to come from a senator on national TV. But hide your children from Rowley. Right? This poor 17-year-old girl. Well, she wasn't not 17 again, but as I say, she got a house for that wine when she turned 21. Now, we have no way of corroborating any of these things, right? But at the end of the day, he put that out there on national TV. So, of course, anybody, that's what the UNC going and run with, illiterati. That's what they're going and run with. Yeah, the girl, we get Rowley the wine. Yeah, and they'll say she get a house. He gets a house. Yeah. And the Prime Minister at 60-something years old, father, twins and stuff. Your councillor put out a post on Facebook denouncing that, Bruce. Right? Talking about the impact it has had on her family, because I think it's her cousin or somebody, so the children, the twin girls, it's her cousin's children. That it's unfortunate that she had to go on Facebook to denounce that and to further expose the family to have to put up pictures to show the children father and all of that, just to denounce the nastiness and the foolishness of the events with no regard for family, no regard whatsoever. But if we were to come out now and say a whole bunch of things about Kamala's son, Chris, and people say that he Down syndrome, he retarded, all kind of thing, they vex if you come to talk about that, don't talk about the woman family and so on. You tell us now, why does she always hide Chris? Is she ashamed of Chris? The only time we ever see Chris was when she was sworn in as Prime Minister. Never after that. She don't really talk about him. So what? What's the secret? And if somebody in the PNM to start a rumor about him, all you vex. But you all have no problem. It's nasty, man. I want to use is our word I want to use, Bruce. Email underwear to describe this man. But that's what he is. That's how he behaves. Right? I don't know, maybe Chandel, he probably wanted to wear Chandel underwear, I don't know, that's probably why he's a single father. Because he feels like that, yeah? Tongues, man, seems like the type of man who would enjoy wearing tongues. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue to take your course, please.
Oh, good. Caller, good morning.
Blessed morning to you, Bruce. Dominic.
Morning.
Morning.
All on the live. You see, when they're trying to bring politics or what politics is about into rum shop talk and bacchanal, is not good. The opposition really doesn't have nothing to say good about the PNM, about this government. Everything is to degenerate, belittle, all the adjectives that would make people feel shame then, that is what they are about. But I would like to tell them something. You see, honesty, integrity, and dignity, when people have that, nothing to debate or belittle could bring that down. The truth will always stand firm. You see Mr. Anil Robert and Mr. Naked, who was on the platform last night, if you was ashamed with the opposition leader, you see the kind of talk they're talking, nothing about what is going on in Trinidad and Tobago concerning the economy. Management is what we are looking at right now. The management of our resources, not the mismanagement that we saw before. The 7 years that we have been under Dr. Rowley have been very hard. I could tell you that. I worked through some and I'm watching at some right now if it was ashamed. And it is no easy road. Roger and Izette and them don't know economics. Roger could not himself explain or make the statement $1,587,677 if it was ashamed. He mingle up everything and can't even make that. That's why they didn't have no business head, because they have no mathematics skills. Mr. Roger, why Ole didn't buy that refinery from day one? No money. Ole had no business head. Ole have no money. Ole broken or broken 5 years. And the members who are suffering. Because greed is the motivating factor in society. And Ole love it. A number with 20 zeros. Ole jobs love the zeros going down the line. And in contentment, that is not in all your vocabulary, but that is in my vocabulary. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Caller, good morning.
Yeah, very pleasant. Good morning.
Morning.
Mr. Dominic.
Morning.
You hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Morning.
Yeah, what I was going to say, remember you're dealing with people, not all of them, who don't respect you. I will never respect you. Because of the Honorable Dr. Rowley, the beloved Prime Minister, was to tell certain people that I still have a real name from Christmas. Nobody didn't have to make up my name and reach any birth registration office. There was something well planned. The whole family agreed with it. But you make up your name on Nelson Island and then come and tell me your name Ramjan and Rajpal. You feel any name like that in India? Now again, people say, boy, you are not going to them levels. I was just telling you, Dr. Rowley was to approach the politics, or PNM and their supporters was to approach the politics as brainless and as brain dead, as Anna Roberts, Dr. Mooney Lal, and the Princess of Darkness. All right, let me take that one. And the opposition leader. What would have happened? We would have had a government of a country, right? And if you think things bad now, it would have been worse than worse. It would have been worse, right? When Patrick Manning was the Prime Minister, between 1995 to 2000, I saw something what I ain't see up to now again. Everybody had more than one job. It had so much as jobs, unemployment went down to nothing. Every single day, whole day in the supermarket, it used to line. It never had a time like that in Trinidad again. You understand? And a short up when he got through. He paid off our debt. We had a beautiful credit rating. Did you ever get money borrowed for anything? We had a 2020 plan, which was well on the way. Free tertiary education for those of us who always had the ability, but never had the money. And people fight that. And you know what is dependent on? The Negro mentality. Because sad to say, it has plenty of us. We'll never be caught dead in a dashiki. We'll never be caught dead in an emancipation march. I mean, it's the emancipation too, but it is a start. I always criticize the emancipation community too, but I will still be careful because they're doing something what most of us are not doing. Well, in closing, had not this government paid off the big debt what Petrotrim was going, for the sake of 5,000 workers, all are we would have had to be living under the conditions of the IMF. And that is all Ansel Roger and a set of brain dead people who call themselves labor leaders don't want to understand. So they play along. I was just calling out to confirm certain things, you know, and I'm telling all the again. This government has paid off all its debt, or are servicing its debts, international debts, beautifully. The IMF have no problem with that. International Development Bank, whosoever. We're doing it. It's an organized government we have right now. The pandemic proved it. What all you want? Let me tell you, property tax and fix our roads now, and develop a new system of our local government. Instead of listening to people who could never even go near the House of Commons or the House of Congress, like Anil Roberts and his mistress, the opposition leader. Thanks very much.
Thank you, sir. And to the caller's point, Bruce, you know, well, he just mixed up the dates when Mr. Manning was in power, right? He said 95 to 2000, that was Panday. But Mr. Manning would have been in power from 2002 to 2010. And I recall around the 2006 period when they were constructing the waterfront and so on. While now the UNC want to complain about how much jobs lost under this administration. Remember, they were complaining then, too many jobs, that the Manning administration overheating the economy and the overcrowding the private sector. Because now if you want a mason or a carpenter to do a private job at home, you can't get one because all of them working for the government. And the government building this and the building that, and you have to wait months to get blocks and cement because of overheating the economy. Too much was happening. Too much activity was taking place. Too many people were employed. So when jobs were flowing, they had a problem with it. Now when jobs dry up a bit, they have a problem with that too. When the government said, this administration said we're going to borrow $1 billion to pave roads, they had a problem with that. They increasing the debt to GDP ratio. They only taking on more and more debts that our children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren will have to pay. What are they all criping about the roads? Illiterati, right? Government said we're going to borrow $1 billion to fix the roads, you know, so that you can have nice roads to drive on. Your political leader earlier was complaining about them borrowing the money to fix the road, but now all they're griping when they tell them we don't have the money to fix the road. If they take the money from the HSF fund, they're raiding the Heritage and Stabilization Fund. If they say we increase property tax, we tax. Well, they want the government to get the money from. You want them to go and take it out from your bank account? And the thing that amazes me, Bruce, Government is telling you, we don't have the money for this. We're working on this is how much money we have and this is what we're doing with it. All I want to hear that. But some of you all who are parents, the next time, and I've said this before, the next time your children want something that you can't afford and you don't have the money for and you tell them you don't have it, they should cuss you. You see more like cussing the government. They should draw a placard and go and stand up in the road in front of your house and say, Daddy must go and Mommy must go, right? Because all you want to give them what it is they want. Because the children don't want to listen to hear that you're saying you don't have the money for it and you can't afford it. Yeah, that's what they should do. Call you all kind of names. And every day, from the time they get up in the morning, have a breakfast, and go and protest and placard in the street. Burn tire in the yard. And complain because Mommy and Daddy don't want to give them the money that they're asking for. They don't want to buy the PS5 or whatever it is that they're asking for. That's what they should do. So you all can understand the stupidness that you all do when you don't want to listen to the government telling you, we have limited funds. This is the money we have and this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to ensure that every public servant at the end of the month get a pay on time. Because they put one day later, as Dr. Rowley say, the loudest voices you're hearing is the people who doing the least work. But all I want to hear that. No. Look. Go ahead, Bruce.
As you see, it have consequences for your actions, Dominic, you will see.
Yeah.
Remember, I say that. As it have consequences for your actions. Caller, good morning. Hello, good
Bruce
morning.
Wayne.
Morning.
Dominic Romain.
Yes, sir. Morning.
A pleasant, fantabulous, splendiferous, marvelous, tremendous, and splentastic morning to you guys. Hope you guys' day as bright, beautiful, and marvelous as you want it to be. Dominic Romain.
Yes, sir.
And Bruce Wayne, there's a new virus going around Trinidad and Tobago, and it's up here on this radio station quite often with some of the callers. Dominic and Bruce Wayne, you guys know what's ADD, right? Attention Deficit Disorder. It appears that we have a new virus now, ADHD, Attention Hypocritical Disorder. Let me say this. Firstly, Dominic and Bruce, did you guys see the 9-minute public service announcement for the 60th Jubilee celebration on Rowley?
Yes,
they
I saw
take 7.5 million and do a public service announcement for the 60th Jubilee celebration on Rowley. Can you imagine that? I mean, when I saw it, I could not believe it. Right? Secondly, Dominic, I haven't heard, listen carefully, I haven't heard those same callers in HD criticizing what happened in Tobago with them Chinese workers taking black people thing and putting it on the sidewalk. We can't go to China and China bringing Trinidad and Tobagonians and let them go into Chinese people apartment or houses and take this stuff and put it in black garbage bag on the sidelines, on the sidewalk. I mean, it is just unbelievable that we would allow that to happen in this country and we are silent. And Sugarlos have a song, not one word. I ain't hear one word from them people and them in AHD. But Dominic and Bruce, you know they're going to renovate the apartments up in Chumakak. You know Dominic? And Bruce Wayne?
Oh, well, yes.
So, I taken full 100% credit. Finally, after years of fighting my party, yes, I'm a PNM. People could say what they want. None of them could prove that I've ever supported another party in my history in Trinidad and Tobago. So, Dominic, I want to say thank you to Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley for finally seeing light at the end of the tunnel, and he decided to get HDC to go and renovate the building. But I'm going to close with this, Dominic. I hope they don't wait till the 20th, just before the 2025 election, to go up there and try to fool them people and tell them that the building is going to be done just before the next general election. I hope so, Dominic. And I'm waiting patiently. But Dominic and Bruce Wayne, as I say to the people of Chumakak, Laventil, in the words of Frederick Douglass, Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did, and it never will. By the way, Dominic, last year, when you look at that video, you will see how them fellas and them saying that Rowley is a people's person. And let me put a new word into 91.9. They are very phantasmic. When you look it up, they are very phantasmic in their utterances. Have a beautiful day, fellas. Bye-bye.
What's the time now, Bruce?
It's almost 20 minutes to the hour of 9 o'clock.
Let me say this. Guy says that he's a supporter of the PNM and he's never supported any party. I'll tell you, that kind of support the PNM doesn't need. Certainly doesn't need that type of support. That when you could call a program and you go and people need to understand this. The PNM is not Keith Rowley. The PNM is not the government. The PNM is a party. It's an institution. All right. And therefore, when you call the PNM names, or when you talk about AHD and all of that, and go along, get along, and all of that, you need to understand that the PNM is an institution. Okay, that type of support, we don't need that the PNM wicked and vindictive and all of that. Really, that's how you should support. So it's like your friend Bruce. Going through a rough time, depression and whatnot, and here's the support. You call them up. But you waste our time. Why you don't go and kill yourself and call that judge? That's the kind of support that I would like to what we get from that gentleman, right? Rather than you, constructive criticism is good. And he says he's taking credit for the government and the Chumakak buildings. And this is coming, of course, from the ad that we showed where the HGC would have denounced the post that he put up as fake news, and then went on to show the evolution of the efforts with respect to those buildings. So apparently everything that is in place there now only happened because he spoke about it. So, but yet still, well, let's see, probably wait another 7 years to get the building downtown. Kind of movement there. I ain't see you get on one yet. So I don't know. But you saw the program he's talking about, Bruce? Where they have a few persons talking about Dr. Rowley. So they have a number of persons in this video, including Ashton Ford. I saw Dr. Marlene Atz, right? Dr. Marlene Atz, who is a well-respected economist and one who most people, media houses, turn to for comment with respect to the state of the economy and so on. And she would have made some very interesting remarks in that production where she spoke about the challenges that the government faced, what they met when they came in, and commended the government for the way that they've handled the situation, which she spoke about Petrotrin and COVID and all of these different things, right? So, so Dr. Rowley would have come in for a lot of praises. But you see, I have no issue with these persons and what they would have said. Because a lot of people in this country, they only know one side of Dr. Rowley, right? And if they've not had the opportunity to what's the word I'm looking for? To mingle with Dr. Rowley on a social level, Bruce. And you would see it's a totally different person.
Yep.
Right? Totally different person. Dr. Rowley will come and even this hypocrite on Synergy TV, who always have nothing good to say about the government, Stephen Rees. A couple of years ago when the government, they held an appreciation event for media personality at the government campus. And he was there, right? And you're bashing the government and bashing Dr. Rowley. You come up in the people thing, and you stand up there talking to Dr. Rowley and laughing and sipping on whatever it is you had, enjoying the fare that was offered there, right? And in those settings, you see Dr. Rowley is a totally different person. He's very approachable. You go to him, you think, because I won a hamper, and I'm there with my big hamper in my hand, Bruce. We are looking for a place to put it down, and he saw me from across the room, and he came across and shake my hand and stuff and whatnot. And we had a brief conversation, and Dr. Roy was very nice. Very nice, but of course the job that the man has demands a certain persona.
That's right.
That is he's not a walkover, right? And that is the side that most people see. And he's a bulldog and he's a pit bull and you're a Rottweiler, and this kind of nonsense. But if you've not had opportunity, right, to speak to the man personally one-on-one like that. It is unfair to simply make an assumption based on just what you see in the public domain. So that if these persons have had opportunity and occasion to deal with Dr. Oli on a different level, they can speak to that side of him, that he is a people's person. But if it is that, but he's a no-nonsense man, that when it comes to doing his job, he does not tolerate nonsense. And what you see is what you get. If that is how he is, and that is how he puts it across. So, I mean, we'll say about the leader of the opposition, right? The nasty things that comes out of her mouth. But you want to put up a video to say Dr. Oli said this and Dr. Oli said that. She has said infinitely worse. But you wouldn't talk about that. She's allowing and encouraging Daniel Roberts to say the nasty things that he's been saying over recent times. And last night here, after he spoke, when she got up and praised him for such a powerful performance, he is now emboldened even further to continue doing what he's doing. So, I mean, come on. Go ahead, Bruce.
Caller, good morning.
Pleasant good morning to you, Bruce.
Hey, morning.
Pleasant good morning to you, Dominic.
Morning, Brian.
Well, I have to regurgitate some of the things that went by about an hour and a half ago because I saw long I'm trying to get in. First of all, Mr. Lee, MP Lee, is working for about $17,000 a month. People talking about the opposition leader talking about, they have attorneys to see about that and so on. Okay. I was working for twice the amount of money he's getting right now. And I couldn't afford to buy the kind of vehicle I really wanted to buy, which was a BMW. You understand? But he working for $17,000, and he could afford to buy a Mercedes-Benz and import it on his own for over $2 million, whether or not he got the normal MP discounts and so on, tax exemptions and so on or whatever. But he would have still come up to over $1 million. And I want people to understand and ask the question, where he get that money from? There's another one who had two vehicles with the same chassis number. Don't forget that. Up to now, what happened to that case? You see, there are a lot of cases and issues with them that have gone under the carpet that we can't remember, we can't recall some of us. And we have to ask the questions and remind people, Dominic, about these things. What about the issue with the doctor who make all of the derogatory statements and racist statements and have Martin George as his defense lawyer? What happened to that case? That case finished yet? What about the MP and as you said, I think it was Sunday, the $135,000? And what about the housewife with the $3 million in her account? What about those things? Have those things been answered as yet? And these are some of, you see, these things take so long that we forget. We forget. You understand? There's nothing else. There's no corruption to talk about with the PNM. So what they do, they attack your, if they don't attack your anatomy, they attack your family and they spew all of these things about people's wives and so on. I have to listen to Brambali talking about what the government, the crime going out of the door, and what the government doing about crime. But they are supporting nothing as it pertains to crime in the parliament. That is why I have said it repeatedly that all those shootings and those killings will hang around the necks of those opposition personnel in our parliament, as well as part of the upper house, what do you call them, the independents, like Timol, like Paul Richards, like Sipasar and the other two. You understand? So somebody has to bear the brunt of that. So don't say that the government is doing nothing about it. It's y'all who are stymieing it. And these are some of the issues we have to talk about. You understand? So
Pushwati could come and say all what she wants to say. But this government is doing very, very well. Look, we have an agreement now to give oil to Portugal. Look, BPTT is building a pipeline from the offshore facility to the Alta Galeota for $125 million US. Nobody is talking about that. Look at some of these things being done in this country. Touchstone. Heritage making money. Nobody ain't talking about these things. Why doesn't Rosie and they buy the refinery? They can't. Because they know they will have to import 120 barrels of foreign oil every single day. And they can't afford it. Because they think it's easy for the government to do it and put out the money because the government have plenty money. And this is the foolery that they're trying to fool people with. People must ask them, but why don't you all buy the refinery, saying that the content issue may have fallen through the cracks? Why don't you all now put in an RFP for the refinery? Is anybody asking Roger and them that? Or is it just about, we want money, we want more than 4%? Really? And these are some of the questions we have to ask people like Roger and ask the UNC certain questions that they cannot answer. And that is my issue with these things. We could talk all we want, you know. But if the media, who in front of them, don't ask them these questions, the same way Rambali was talking that Sunday morning, why didn't the media ask them, why didn't you all support the legislation for the what do you call it, Dominic? The amendment to the bail amendment. How come? Why did they ask them that? But they don't ask these questions, people. They just leave them there to rant and rave and carry on. And at the end of the day, it makes news. And they're making news now for the last 2 days. Up to this morning, it's making news on another frequency. But nobody's asking the relevant questions as to why Ole support the legislation. And that is the problem I have. And people, we as a people have to ask the question. Otherwise, at the end of the day, we could end up just being stupid and listening to all sorts of stupidness from all up in New York. But credit for the government fixing this and fixing that, and they must take credit for it and credit for that. And they ain't gain 5 cents, not even 5 US cents. Total waste of time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Guys, we have probably about a minute again before it's time for us to get out of here. Could probably take another call. Caller, good morning. Morning.
I want to talk about Mr. Wall Street because I've been here for a very long time because of that I look something. Mr. Wall Street, let me tell you something. Dr. Allen not fixing the buildings and them because of you that they have up in Chimakakana. Dr. Allen doing what he has to do. It was just a matter of timing. Because you know very well that the people in Chimakaka are the ones that vandalize these buildings and but they have to put certain things in place before they could have done it. But whether it is you or not, I know Dr. Ali is doing it on behalf of his government, not because of you on the street. He's talking rubbish. And you see the Chinese you're talking about in today, let me tell you something. A contract was given to the Chinese to do the airport. The people were paid, they were given eviction notices, and they refused because they have the people like the Chief Secretary Stupid Mills and the leader of the party, the PDP, who is all over in Trinidad making bacchanal and not looking after Tobago. To tell them that the government not give them enough money and this and that and they're putting them to live, they don't want to live there and all these sorts of things. So the Chinese have the right when they reach where they have to live, that they have to do what they have to do because a court order was given, an eviction court order was given. You understand? And by the 26th of August, these people are going to get the judgment. That is why they did not get any injunction against them in the last thing there. This party and they could go where they want. You understand? This is a contract was given, and I say the people were paid, even people before, as a matter of fact, it is said that some of them parents and whatever who might have been still there were already paid. They have documents to prove that. And it's just foolishness why the people are moving. But these are the same people that want development in Tobago. These are the same people that want no sites to come to Tobago. If you have an international airport, you don't think a bigger airport like Hamilton, you also don't know that the Air Caribbean might be able to buy better planes or bigger planes. So when they pull in, instead of pulling 50 or 55 people in one plane, they could pull 100 and something. So you get a big flight in the morning, one midday, one day, or whatever. Because you can't walk in the airport and get a plane every minute as you want. It's not a taxi. So come on, Wall Street. I tell you, go by that big bullet on Wall Street and take out a picture and send it back home and let us see how foolish you are with your spin. This is Russian, this Russian, whatever Russian have, your own dictionary. Come on.
And with that, guys, that's all the time we have for today. Any closing remarks, Dominic?
Oh, no. I'm good for now. Yeah, just enjoy the rest of your day and make the best of it and try to avoid the literati.
Yeah. So, guys, we out here, as we say, Dominic. Ciao. Talk to you guys later. We out.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.